1 sugar for perfect aim. 2 sugars for hyper reflexes. That's the stuff. 3 sugars.
Bro, you got caffeine and confidence confused. Wait, is that how you wiped our whole squad last night?
See you in the last zone.
Survivors from all around the world, welcome back to Free Fire at EWC 25. The championship weekend continues, and we are reaching our final leg of the competition here because it is point rush time. It's your last opportunity to grab those points before we head on over to Champions Rush. My name is Danielle. I'm going to be your host for today, and of course joining me are my wonderful panelists who have been doing a fantastic job so far. We have Raja, Neptune, and Gideon. Welcome to all of you. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Well, today we have like the point rush stage, and I really want to know what the teams will bring to show to us, because I feel that maybe sometimes at the point rush stage we can have like an idea of what they are bringing to the finals. So I'm kind of really excited.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. This is just a preview of what's going to expect tomorrow, because from out of the groups that we've seen, this is the first time we're going to see them all together in one game. And also, what also brings excitement is the number of head start points they will be getting after the day.
Let's not forget about the full reset, right? We're back to 0. Everybody's starting from square number 1. So really, today is where all the games are going to matter.
Exactly. So just a quick recap in case you don't know what Point Rush is. Teams are competing for head start points that they are going to carry over to tomorrow's matches. And we have seen in the past that sometimes these points matter in those final moments. So ideally, you want to place as high as you can to put yourself above the competition and give you a head start leading into Champions Rush. I mean, Neptune, some people might say it's just 10 points, but for all we know, that 1 point from the 10 points could be the reason why you're a champion.
Exactly. I mean, it happened in the past that the head start point really changed the scene of the grand finals. But another factor is, since we have like a target for the grand finals to reach, that 10 points would be something that will help them to get that champion rush condition quite fast.
I think for the most people are thinking like 10 points, sure. But then what about like second and third place? Technically, that's kind of like whatever, right? No, really, it comes down to the bracketing of how many people would consider to be valuable points, right? 5 is generally a safe spot to be, especially when we're thinking about Champion Rush as a whole, because really, you just need to get over the threshold, even by a singular point, and then you can look for that booyah at the end.
Well, unfortunately for the teams, time is running out for them, because this is going to be one of their few final moments before they step onto the stage. They sit at their table and they're basically flying into their first game. But as you can see here, folks, from our Jamal Motorsports player arrival cam, our top 12 teams from Free Fire are making their way to the venue. They're just leaving the hotel, and I mean, we're seeing some pep talks, we're seeing smiles, we are seeing some worry as well. And of course, we do have some of the players looking forward to being in front of their fans as well, because we do have an audience attending, and we've had some pretty motivated people there, you know, got to cheer for your team, and others, I mean, they've been a little bit naughty.
They have been a little bit naughty. I don't know if anybody could hear it, right? Because when I did it, when I was with the head-to-head, there was Vitality fans there, which was nice. The following day, we got to see, you know, Bangladesh, Falcon fans as well. Even MENA fans in the back row where we saw the Bangladeshi fans all in one side.
You know what's so funny? I would love it if all of the different teams, like the supporters of different teams, they try to outdo the others. So you hear Vitality in the back, all of a sudden the Falcons are louder, then Vitality senses it as a challenge and they try to get louder. I think that'll be really great to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also great for, I would say, for the mentality as well as motivation for the team, because once you get all those energy for the number of people that's watching the game, I'm pretty sure it gets you hype up.
Well, we're going to hype things up a little bit with our Kadir top plays. Let's see what were our highlights for our previous play day, because, I mean, those games yesterday, very tense, because teams realized if they didn't score enough points, they'd be one of the bottom 6, and basically their keys were crushed. We saw 6 keys, 6 dreams crushed yesterday, and for some of those teams, it was heartbreaking. You made it here, but at the end of the day, you came there to be a champion.
I think it was impending doom for some of these teams, right? Because you could see that not a lot of them immediately broke down. Others are just sitting in their chairs just thinking, what could I have done better? And a lot of these moments that we see from the Kadir top plays really just boils down to, can I 1v2 my opponents? Or like what we saw at the very beginning, and I'm pretty sure it's going to show up later, the 2v1s with sniper rifles of people just farming the lobby.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we love to see those snipers really making all those points, getting all those elimination. But one thing's for sure as well, those teams that got eliminated from yesterday, I'm pretty sure they will be thinking, and if they'll be coming back for next year, they will be stronger.
Well, I mean, you kind of want to be stronger this year, right? You still have a chance. We do have our Crunchyroll reactions as well. Let's have a look and see how the players have been reacting to their matches too, because, I mean, the audience members, of course, we're going to be cheering. The panel, we're screaming in our green room as well. But you have to see the players too, right? They have to uplift each other, you know? And after every game, you've got those high fives, you've got those bro hugs, but you also have those players trying to comfort each other after those matches where things just kind of don't go their way.
And I love seeing these reactions as well, because at some point we, especially in an online scene, when they're doing all those casting, analyzing, we don't see all those reactions. We don't see the emotion from the team. At this point, we are finding out what's their mentality. We're finding out what motivates them, and if they're really like, if it affects every instance that they win or lose the fight, how does it affect them, and probably affect the gameplay by the following match.
I mean, I'm just thinking about, hey, Crunchyroll, you're already giving the Crunchyroll reactions. When are we going to get the anime for Free Fire? Garena, another $1 million idea right there.
I would love to see this too, and it's really good to see how they are reacting, just like Neptune just said. Well, I personally like to watch how the Asian teams react, because I'm not used to see, so I'm kind of jealous of you guys, because you're always seeing it, and it's way different, but it's so cool. I mean, we have like so much culture here, and everything it's going perfectly fine, and I'm really happy to be here. It's such an amazing experience.
Well, I do think we have to start getting things moving here, folks. Overall rankings, please, because we need to see how things are going to be starting. Now, obviously, these are the rankings from yesterday. Keep in mind, these points we see here, it doesn't matter. All that matters, the top 12 teams, they've made it to today, and everything has a reset, right, Neptune?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a reset right now, but I love seeing these numbers. I love that we've completed and concluded all those knockout stage, because we have an idea on how each players or teams will be doing. But I am seeing some that's throwing me off, especially the performance that they have compared to the regionals, compared to last year. It's just different. So I guess they're also putting up some play wherein they don't want to show up just yet.
I think there's also the big argument for some of the, you know, the standard staple teams that kind of set the benchmark for each of the regions. Buriram United as well as Fluxo as well. I mean, LOS and as well as Team Falcons are doing amazing, but their competitors don't seem to be doing that well. So the real question now comes down to, is there something wrong? Is there something that can be fixed, or really has the meta strayed away from them?
Okay, I know we had some hot takes on the panel as well over breakfast, how, okay, Buriram, they're saving strats, right? Like that is currently what is coming out of a lot of our mouths, but then I've heard some hot takes where people are saying maybe it's just a case that everyone has caught up to Buriram. You know, maybe is this team starting to lose that shine? Is that maybe a possibility for Buriram?
It is, because even from Southeast Asia, we're seeing that Buriram United is even being countered by a lot of teams. So this is one sign that even the other teams are studying the meta, not just studying them, but applying ways to counter Buriram United. And Buriram United has been the dominator of the Southeast Asian scene. So I guess it's good story as well overall, but even from Brazil, Loss has done so much, and I did mention this before, they have been moving like how the Southeast Asians are.
Well, we'll let the Free Fire players sort of get ready for their match. But in the meantime, though, we do have a quick update for the STB Club Championship. Roll it.
Hi everyone, I'm Ginny, and last week we crowned 4 champions across 4 titles here at EWC. And with week 2 coming up,
we figured it's important to keep you up to date to the club championship race. I'm Quickshot, and this is your update.
Gaming Gladiators is the real surprise here at EWC, as they are the first non-Asian club to be heading into a women's MLBB finals. They're going to be going up against Team Vitality for the lion's share of $500,000 and a boatload of club championship points, which for Vitality specifically is pretty important considering the fact they have multiple teams across multiple titles here at EWC.
In Dota 2, of course, the defending champions, Gaming Gladiators, have been eliminated already. So with Team Spirit being in the finals, they can play spoiler to Team Falcons. Why, you might ask? Team Spirit only have 4 squads here at EWC, and if they're able to take down Team Falcons, it hurts their chances at the club championship. There are only 12 teams remaining in Free Fire, but the important ones to keep an eye on: Team Vitality, Team Falcons. These are the clubs that have multiple squads competing towards the club championship. If any one of them picks up the 1,000 points, it is a massive advantage towards picking up that title.
Semi-finals are starting today here at the SEC Esports Arena in Riyadh for EWC, where the defending champions T1 are looking to keep their title. G2, Genji, and ALLG are also in the competition for as many championship points as possible, as they're looking for these placement spots. But who knows, maybe we can get a repeat of the MSI finals.
4 more clubs will earn 1,000 points towards the club championship, get to put their key on this totem, find out which 4 will be by the end of Championship Sunday.
And there you have it, a quick update on what is happening with the club championship. Now, we do have a major update on that. Now, previously in that video, it was mentioned that T1 were currently defending their title. Well, I wasn't sure if this card was 100% correct, but apparently T1 had lost to AGAL in a surprising turn of events. T1 were favorites to win, but apparently AGAL were the hungrier team in that moment. So, unfortunately for fans of T1, they won't be champions this year, but they will be playing in a 3rd place decider match tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that, because that will be an exciting match as well. But congratulations to AGAL. They pulled off an insane victory.
And now, with that victory, it's going to set everything up, right? Because even here in Free Fire, AGAL is looking to try and compete for some points as well. If they may manage to get 1,000 points and win out in the League of Legends event, that's going to shoot them so far ahead. And once again, Free Fire is going to be the big break for a majority of these clubs.
Definitely. I mean, there's potential, especially from Do, who has been an MVP when they played. And Do is a guy who really just motivates the team. Hopefully, the rest of the teams can follow through, even if he is not performing. So AGAL really has that potential.
Well, we are going to talk a little bit more about the teams here, but the Free Fire teams, because we do have our Aramco Power Rankings ready to go. Let's see what my panelists have to say for today's matches. And okay, I can agree with the Falcons' choice all across the board. Loss I think I'm a bit surprised about, but I do have my own personal opinions. But we have EVOS and RRQ. So Raja, explain to me your picks. Why do you think these are your top picks for today?
Well, I put RRQ because I remember the global finals in Brazil and they were undefeated at the 5-match, so it's a really good team. I remember they played really well, and they just finished the championship at the 2nd spot. So I found that really good, and I think they can bring the same game for us today, maybe. And they did such a bunch of points yesterday, so it was more than 90 points. I can't even remember, but it was
92.
Yeah. So that's 2 more points, and I think they can bring the same game today. It will be just perfect for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for Falcons and Loss, despite of their performance being on a different side of the spectrum, the contrast, one goes for placement, the other one goes for elimination. Definitely they are in there on the board. But for EVOS Divine, I think this is a chance really that they will be showing up that much.
I kind of agree with you guys too. So if I could pick another one, I will put probably EVOS too.
I was going to say the same thing here because I feel like right now, I think Lost and Falcons are in prime position to try and really run away with the tournament. However, in terms of like who would come in that maybe 3rd or even contest for that spot, I think it really boils down to RRQ alongside EVOS Divine. EVOS Divine for me for today, mainly because yesterday they got a bit of a break. They're like, okay, we're not getting targeted anymore. We can do some research. We can really look into how to outperform these teams during Point Rush.
Oh, that's interesting. Am I getting a call from AJ and Husky? Wait, you're in the player lounge? What are you guys doing there?
Welcome to the Predators Lounge. Taking a break from Free Fire, but this is where all of the Predators from the various games here, the Esports World Cup, gather. And I think that doesn't sound like a Predator. Sounds like a husky.
Can't wait to go to the petting zoo.
No, it's not a petting zoo, bro.
No, no,
No, this is where the predators lie away.
What?
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You look like you belong in a petting zoo.
Yeah,
You stay behind.
I'll be careful. I'll be careful.
Yeah, you be very careful,
okay.
all right? Okay, we gotta check out exactly what all of these predators do here. Because, you see, as we see some gazelles walking past, they are the ones in the most danger.
Yeah, what? They smiled at me. I'm in danger.
You are in danger.
I'm in danger.
Really
Always
dangerous. Right? As we go through, you see sometimes all of the predating happens out there. All of the chilling seems to be happening here.
Have they chill after a prey? They need to go through simulations of how to get the next kill, how to just grab the prey, rip them apart, just...
We see some sort of a courting dance being made here by the players who are taking a break. They've got paddles and a little ball that goes back and forth between 2 couples. This is a very weird ritual.
It's not only the small cats need to play, right? The big cats also need to relax, and just calm their mind before they go out back out into the wild and lunge at someone. Not me. Lunge.
Don't. I hope they don't lunge at you. Sometimes when you go out for a safari, you see all of these predators. You want to take some photos with them in the background. And this is exactly where you go. We've got a little bit of a photo booth here as well for the Predators Lounge.
Yeah, they will get their trophy. They complete their hunt, get their trophy, and then they would take a photo and put it up on the gallery.
Yeah. And these beautiful gazelles are waiting for their own photos to be taken at this point of time. They got to be careful.
They have to be.
There are many predators out there.
We'll protect them.
Waiting to pounce on
you
them.
will protect them.
I'll protect them.
You will protect them.
No, but we got to move on.
Okay.
We got to see more out of this Predators Lounge. We got to report everything back to the people who are watching. Because if they get here, they got to be careful.
They have to be, because there is an area where they not only chill, but they rewatch their glory moments.
What?
They rewatch the moments where they rewatch the moments that they get the championship, the wins, the hunt.
The hunt, they're doing it right now.
They are doing it.
They're seeing their booyah moments. They're seeing exactly how they rip all of these players apart in the game.
And they watch live actions of other people ripping other people apart so that they could rip other people apart better.
Oh no, man, this is just too much of gore for me. I can't take it. I think I need some water. Thank God we are at the common watering hole.
Watering hole. This is where they drink. They drink. they drink to their success.
Yes, they do drink. No, points for little petting zoo animal here. And this is a very unique watering hole.
It is.
They get to choose what sort of drinks they want to drink.
Plenty of choices. You can do it off the hunt. You can do it on the hunt. As long as they are hydrated, they will be at the top of their form to continue to reach the top.
I mean, when you're a predator who reaches the top, you get to choose what drinks you want to have. And on top of that, when you are the predator of predators, you get initiated into the Heroes Club. Husky, you and I can't even get that. This is like the home to Turok Makto, the biggest bird in the sky.
Yeah, at the Esports World Cup, nothing is granted. Everything is earned. And to earn a spot in that Hall of Fame, Hall of Legends, you have to first become one.
Yeah, you can be one of the predators here, but only the very best steps on in there.
Do I have to have a chance?
It's okay, buddy. I think the match is about to start. Let's go. It's okay. It's okay.
That was a pretty interesting petting safari, if I ever saw one.
I don't think they've ever been surrounded by that many predators in one spot. They've got to be nervous. I definitely feared for Husky there for a moment. At any point of time, one of the TL predators, like we saw Umti in the back there, he could have just yoinked him in.
It's a good thing that they were not given access to where the apex predators are. I mean, the heroes area, that's where the apex predators are, the ones in the top of their league.
Well, it looks like the players have reached the venue. We're going to be able to catch this with the Jamal Motorsports player arrival cam. And the players, they're ready. They're rearing to go. They look great as well. I love how composed all the players are looking as they're walking towards the venue together. We had our predictions, but at the end of the day, everyone is here for a reason. They earned their spot here at the championship weekend, and they're going to earn their spot by playing in Point Rush today. And hopefully the teams, they all get what they're looking for, because this is just step one, you know? Step two, the execution, all of that happens tomorrow, but you still need to have as good of a setup as possible, especially with Point Rush.
Yeah, I definitely. And one reason as well why everyone from what we've seen in the rival, they're just chill. Because this is Point Rush. The teams know that they can get points if they get number one, but the hard stuff is already done. The first 3 days of knockout stage is done. And now they're just relaxed right now, going for the full reset and waiting for a chance to get points for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, and as you can see, we do have an update for some of those keys. Gideon, we are going to be going into Bermuda for our first map. We've seen all of these teams play on Bermuda, and so far it has been pretty fast tempo for all of the teams playing in the groups. Is there a chance we're going to kick things up a notch even faster for our first match of the day?
I think it's going to be the opposite this time. I think
it'll slow down?
Yes, I think it's going to slow down, because I think that Point Rush is a very interesting format before, especially when you have Champion Rush immediately after, right? Even if a team were to achieve the number one spot and get those 10 points, there's still a good chance a bottom 12 team can decide to take it away during the Championship Rush itself. So I think there's a degree of we need to be able to find eliminations without having to reveal too many of our strats.
Well, it looks like the players are rearing it to go, so we're going to throw it over to the stage right now. We are going to kickstart Point Rush. Take it away.
12 teams will rise. This is where Free Fire history is made.
Meu maior sonho é levantar essa taça, ser campeão da IWC. ก็ตอนนี้ก็ต้องฝันแหละครับเพราะว่าเข้ามาครั้งนี้ก็กะมาเอาแชมป์ให้ได้ครับ Y me sentí muy bien con las ganas de querer ganar, ya que los dos anteriores mundiales que fui no me fue muy bien y esta vez quiero darlo todo.
But look at Lost circling on in. Falcons in front. Oh, they see the team wide open. Grenade after grenade. Hararal.
Todos os times aqui são os melhores times do mundo e todos os times da bala e é isso.
Hararal kill Duns with the grenade.
Jadi kita saling menguatkan, jangan sampai ada kata ragu atau takut, ya kita saling melengkapi aja. Kalau misalnya ada yang takut, kita kuatin lah bareng-bareng.
A5 brings RRQ to a booyah in game one.
The grenade pop here and straight through the glue wall. 5 scouts for the M590.
ก็ฝากถึงแฟนคลับฟาลคอนด้วยนะครับ ก็จะทำให้เต็มที่แล้วก็จะปีนี้ก็จะมาเอาแชมป์ให้ได้ครับ แล้วก็จะป้องกันแชมป์ด้วยครับ Bom, são equipes muito fortes, que não são as melhores de cada país, de cada região. E é uma honra estar confrontando eles aqui, mas se é para sair um campeão aqui, vai ser nós, né? Infelizmente, eles vão ter que morrer para nós. E infelizmente, não vai ser eles, vai ser nós.
Ya, buat yang remen kita, kalian lihat aja lah buat kita main di final nanti. Pokoknya gue bakal bikin kalian merinding lah di final nanti.
Nós vamos ganhar, a vitória é nossa.
Estamos listos.
Part they win. เราจะชูถ้วยได้
What's up, Free Fire fam? Point Rush is here. And you know what that means, right? The stage is set and the 12 finalists are locked in. But the battle is far from over. Welcome to the Point Rush. Today is not about survival, it's about domination. Every point earned here could be the edge that makes the difference in the grand finals. The momentum, the confidence, control, it all starts right now. The countdown to the crowd begins with Point Rush. It is time to meet the top 12 finalists who will return today to fight for every single point. Starting with RRQ! Dragons Esports! Core Memory! Evos Esports! United! All Gamers Global! Team Vitality! Champions and the first team to finish the knockout stage in the first place. Please welcome the only. 12 teams, one mission to dominate the battlefield before the grand finals even begin. They have made it this far, and right now it's all about securing the edge, stacking up with the points, and proving who really deserves the crowd. Every moment counts. Every point is power. Point Rush stage starts right here, right now!
Good night. I'm at Play Hunter, and we are here at Boulevard City for the Esports World Cup 2025. We're trying to find something new here from the players. And look at that. We have spotted a few players here on the site. Hey, looks like they're going somewhere. Let's go. Let's find out what they are doing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's find out what are they doing. Come, let's go. Let's go after it. Go. It seems that I'm lost. Crikey, I've been walking for hours, finally. I think we lost track of them. Apparently I was not. Looks like one of them is entering some sort of an entertainment area. Display park. Yeah, both of them are inside. Let's go. Let's see what our players are doing. Play Hunter on the way.
Hey, ขอเล่นด้วยดิไอ้อ้วน
Crikey.
มาดิเล่นไหนอ่ะอยากโดนดิ
Ladies and gentlemen, such a rare occasion for us to see the outing ritual of the pro players. Oh, such a beautiful piece.
ยืดแบบผมอะไรเนี่ยนะ
เป็นอะไรอ่ะ
เป็นอะไรเนี่ยไม่รู้ฮะจะเป็นนะเป็นนะ
We have the grand opportunity to watch and observe the ritual of the courting of the pro players, and it was magnificent. Blimey, it was so good. And that is all from me at Matt's Pro Play Hunter. See you guys on the next one. Binge. It seems that I'm lost.
Lucky for us, Matt's found his way back onto the caster desk because right now is crucial. Right now, from 18 teams, we are down to only 12, where every single one of these matches matter. You are trying to get your head start points in the Champions Rush tomorrow. Like the panel says, every point matters.
That is true. Contribution points from the point rush would actually give them a head start to reach that champion rush tomorrow. Again, this is the point rush stage. Nobody is going to be eliminated today. It's going to be 12 today and as well 12 tomorrow. So let's recap a little bit before we go to game number 1. Yesterday, Dragon Esports managed to squeeze themselves on the 12th place, cutting off Vision SPA by mere 2 points.
Yeah, I think it was incredible how DRG managed to do it. Let's be real here. Yesterday, the only reason DRG is actually still in, barely even making it, was because Falcons saved their life. If they had Falcons was not able to win that fight, another team would have overtaken them, and they would not have been able to move forward with coming here today. But regardless of whether or not they made it, they have played incredible. They had so many moments where they managed to clutch out insane situations, good recovery, and most importantly, so many big names, like legacy names like Riyadh United, even Falcons at certain times had also fallen to this team. This team, out of nowhere, has blown our socks off our feet and into the sky.
Yeah, that is Dragon Esports. Meanwhile, our returning champions, Falcons, did quite a performance yesterday, retaining that first spot in the knockout stage. And another amazing team, I would say, currently we're looking at them right now, lost. Formerly, the former rosters from Minus GG from Brazil, currently now in loss. They were quite aggressive yesterday. Quite a lot of points they have picked up. So many teams that they have faced off, they managed to conquer properly and also dominantly. So on Point Rush stage, and maybe as well Grand Finals tomorrow, we might see more of loss, trying to deny the title of champion of EWC 25.
Yeah, I think Lost has such a great chance of being able to deny Falcons that spot once again, regardless of how it is, based on stats, based on points in the last few days. Falcons is still undoubtedly a team currently on the top spot. A bit more quiet in the beginning. There are moments where we sort of see them falter, see them shake a little bit more, especially since a majority of their roster did change. But, you know, they still have Peter. They still have On Fire. I also just got a wind that for this particular game today, On Fire will be subbed out with only Peter as the final original member of the Falcons roster from last year, here to just really help push the team up all the way to the top. I'm not sure whether it needs a change in strat. I'm not sure whether it's just to change that tempo, to, you know, to just bring an element of surprise to tomorrow. That is the question that we all have. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time that you want to keep your eyes on the screen. Our first map is here. And the question is, who exactly will be running away with the lion's share of the points today to get that 10 points?
Again, 6 has been ousted, 12 is left here in EWC 2025. First match is about to go in Bermuda for Point Rush stage, and 2 teams are in our eyes. Currently, it is RRQ and also EVOS. They're looking quite good here, coming towards their 4th day at EWC, while it looks like the aeroplane has finished its pathways from Bullseye up until Sentosa. Every team has managed to actually drop to their respective places, but it looks like we might see some tussle and bustle between Dragons and also Pain Gaming right around Mill.
I think... Yeah, you hear the sound of the shooting already. I was gonna say, we are actually hitting the ground running here, as Remind will be the first one to be knocked out. And I think Pain is very, very aware of how they wanted to start this match. It's very aggressive, it's very fast. As soon as they dropped down, they saw 2 members of DRG, and immediately these long-range pickoffs were lethal. The rest of DRG were trying to cross away, but we're gonna move our attention to the members of Falcons for the time being.
Yeah, Falcons managed to actually collect quite an early airdrop near Graveyard. Back on Mill. Yasser could not deter himself from Peter. This is Peter from Pain Gaming, yeah? Do remember, we have 2 Peters. One is in Falcon, while another one is in Pain Gaming. So with that said, 2 elimination points has been picked up by Pain Gaming in our early stages of Bermuda. Sadly, Dragons is having a very rough start right here. They wanted to drop on Mill, which is one of their drop points here, but every time they choose that drop spot, definitely there will be another team. During the group stages, whenever Dragons and Red Hawks meet, every Bermuda map, they're gonna meet in Mill, and usually we see Dragons and Red Hawk fight off each other. Meanwhile, Vitality has made a move towards Bima Sakti Strip. Still safe, still fine. There was no disturbance in the force for Vitality. With that, I think Vitality will just collect their resources or maybe rotate to another area. Riverside, EVOS Divine just reached towards Nurak down.
More quiet. I mean, if you ask me, the first 2 days we saw a lot more aggression come through from teams like Bermuda, like EVOS. But today is a little bit more different. Just pickoffs now and then, not full-on commits, if you ask me. And I think if anything, DRG could do a very incredible thing if they manage to recover themselves. Rough start doesn't mean a rough game, if anything. But RRQ here. Sorry, excuse me, it's EVOS going a bit more aggressive. Finding the members of Pain, giving them a taste of their own medicine on what exactly they dished out onto DRG. Nora feeling the heat, knocked down already as Kochil just pressures him. Blue wall, now it gets melted. As Noda will be quickly dealt with, but the rest of the team still very much intact.
Yeah, deja vu have happened towards Pain Gaming. They have lost 2 members towards EVOS Divine. They managed to actually fall back. I believe they went back to Plantation. But we just have to see what will be the pathway for Pain Gaming. And I was right, they went to Plantation, they got that jump pad, and they run and retreat all the way to Shipyard. Meanwhile, Rainbow 7 is in peak. I'm not so sure whether or not Buriram was in peak previously, as I was eyeing myself on towards Mill when they were dropping. Yep, Buriram was in peak, spotted by Rainbow 7.
Dangerous.
Shots being hailed towards the Thailand team, but they managed to find space, but no, except for Wasana and as well as Get High. Two members of Buriram United has been taken by Rainbow 7, and right now they are on 3 points. It looks like the Thailand Killers are at it again.
Oh, R7's doing phenomenal. Games King on that high ground took full advantage of that jump, and I understand that BRU did not want to hang around peak area. There are just too many teams that they don't want to lose members too early. They don't want to take these early fights here, but as R7 were the hunters, now they are the hunted, as Vitality would also like to join in the fray. Koja already finding his first mark, and they rush forward here. Kyong, a lot of space taken already, the nade to start off that fight, and he's going to reposition himself to a nice off angle here. Finds nothing quite yet. R7, I have to say, they're slippery and they're hella fast, moving away from Vitality, not allowing them to take this fight.
The decision to get back Games King and then using the mini jump pad to actually go towards the mana nearby peak here provided a great escape for Team Rainbow 7. Vitality missed the opportunity to try and wipe out that Latin American team. Meanwhile, Joanna and together with members of Buriram are currently in Mill. I believe they managed to get back at least one member. Yep. It was Get High that was revived first before Wasana. And a member from Dragon has to just sit tight and hide, stay quietly in Mill as well. Meanwhile, on peak, Vitality is still around, but this time Lost paid a visit. Shots towards Kyong and also Dix. Azrael managed to actually escape himself away from Nando. So Vitality escapes, Lost missed again the opportunity to fight another squad.
I'm gonna be real here. Humine is having a terrible game. I think he's been knocked like, I think once or twice already, and every time he's in the middle of rotation trying to get away, there's always someone who's marking his location. And in that particular team, I think Humine is the most experienced player, and I have to say that him getting knocked out fairly early as well does put a bit of a back, just really sets the team a bit more back in terms of firepower as well. So you want to keep Humine a bit more alive, a little bit more longer. I think for them right now, just positioning is a little bit more out in the open. They're not being able to take advantage of their positioning at all, and a lot of teams are understanding this and abusing the heck out of them. DRG, this might be a bad start, but I would really like to see some recovery from them.
Yep. However, due to the fact that we have the revive system, so DRG could just revive their team members again and again and again. As you can see from the map on the right side, near Cape Town, Seafox and Remind is back into Bermuda. We are still yet to find our first team to be eliminated on match number 1 here, and Circle number 1 has just completed its rotation. It's gonna be Riverside, part of Peak, as well as Mill, as the new area for the players to be safe in. And as usual, Fluxo will be on the southern side of the map. They landed on Mars Electric and currently in Pochinock. Meanwhile, AGAL has been quiet for quite a while. They are currently in Karaton. In contrast, Rainbow 7, together with RRQ, have been moving constantly within Bermuda.
Don't blame them. They are the type of team who get a bit more active, move around that map, find those eliminations, get those kills, get a bit more active. That's how RQ was able to, to get such a huge landslide amount of eliminations, if you ask me. Haven't been able to do so quite yet. Here's a replay, though, for Falcons. Nice shot. Waited for that nice particular moment to find no doubts. Ugh. Nasty. Now, coming back to RQ here, I think a lot of teams did cross by southern side toward Peak as well. I think we saw 3-4 teams at one point, and everyone seems to have left the area, especially since Lost is around. But now, since the majority of the middle side of the circle is starting to get very convoluted, teams like RQ, R7, EBOS, Divine, Falcons, even BRU is there, it could be a bloodbath. Meanwhile, for DRG, they were a little bit more scattered on the southern side, but now slowly finding their way into that circle.
All right, looks like Vitality met with AGAL for a brief moment here. Pushing AL away from Keraton. They have lost you in the same process as well, but They still have time to revive you back into the game. I believe either Chinoy or Terna has the sufficient amount of coins to get their sniper back. Unless they want to go for the free route, which is an option because currently the teams are very far with each other, very far from AGAL. They could go for the respawn platform, but it looks like they opt to go for the vehicle rush into their new zone. Meanwhile, R7 giving some signals towards RRQ saying that, hey, we know you are in there, please come out.
R7's just waiting, a bit more of a passive approach, hoping that whether or not, RRQ would push toward them. Granted, they do have a bit more cover. They can play CQC, crossfire, make a meat grinder like we saw the last few days. But R7, they're not eating the bait at all. Hoping to see, just whether or not who decides to leave the compound first, who decides to show their hands first as well, will be the ones to be in trouble. And I have to say, even if you want to get a bit more aggressive, you also have to be super aware that Falcons and EVOS Divine is close by. You have Boulevard United as well. And, now already inside of the circle, only a few teams are still outside. AGAL, Pain still taking the slower rotation over, and Lost just hugging the side of that circle, could potentially run into Pain. And because they are at the end of that circle as well, they could potentially pressure Pain into a more desperate situation.
Just judging from the map given right here, I could see that Core Memory had the same mindset as Buriram. They wanted the position on the side of this hill. However, Buriram has managed to get there earlier before Core Memory. So Core Memory could not get a good vantage point since that there is an enemy team right above them. So they opt to go to be at the bottom of this hill, at the bottom of Mountain Mill, and just maybe try to avoid clear angles from Buriram on top. As for the other teams, Buriram can just glance over towards the bottom side of Mill to see whether or not if there's any rotation from any enemy team. But it looks like, judging from the kill feed, it's Rainbow 7 and RRQ slowly at it here. I'm not so sure who's rushing in. I think it's RRQ that rushed in. They have lost Abai. They are together with Kiba. Kiba gets some few nice shots off towards Dela, but sadly Kiba could not finish him off. It looks like RRQ is hesitantly trying to go inside the compound of Rainbow 7. They are slowly falling back. Kiba went down. That is not a good sign for the Indonesian Kings, as R7 eliminated 2 members of RRQ. They have to fall back and reset. It's only Dudes and Mala left. Rainbow 7, they can't have that option to go simply tear off RRQ from Bermuda, but it looks like they have patience, they have discipline. This time around, they just want to be a bit higher in terms of placement.
I mean, the Indonesian style play of Barbar or just go a bit more aggressive is something that I think R7 had predicted in this situation, which is why they didn't feel the need to commit. And they just let, RRQ push toward them. And they had already set up that meat grinder that we talked about previously. And now this fight is getting a bit more spicy here. DRG on the back foot. On the lower ground here, it's hard to move. Sifu was taking a lot of damage already, and Nasir's knocked down. Cannot be saved. Remite, low as heck, tries to cross by. But this high angle that BRU has is not making those blue walls even effective for them because their heads are getting popped so easily. But DRG is changing trajectory, tries to push forward as well. But BRU very much ready. DRG fell in a very dangerous, desperate predicament. And now BRU changes their attention onto Fluxo, who are also in the same predicament. The first team out, DRG, Fluxo, might be facing the same end, but they are going to try and change this ending. Rushing up forward, up onto the high ground here. They rush forward, makes it slower, closer and closer. Excuse me, to BRU. But the jump shot to BRU. But the jump shots are great. They rush forward, they shoot. But Vitality decides to put their hands in the cookie jar. And Boulevard United were not expecting this outcome. But Vitality as well are going to fall. And Boulevard United are slowly making amends, making sure that they're able to come out on top. Fluxo is now here as well. Putin alone. Bushi knocked down. Wasana all alone. Rushes forward. He tries to make it work. He cleans up house. And Boulevard United through the chaos prevails with the 7.
Royal Rumble at Mill. We have seen Vitality Palatine and Fluxo after out by Buriram. Apparently it was Divine as well out of nowhere. Core Memory managed to actually steal a few kills in the same process. AGAL as well is no more on 8th place. We still are on a sort of like a stalemate between R7 and also RRQ. Both Latam and Indonesian team is yet to go in.
Regardless, Core Memory trying to get into that circle. They have a bit more space compared to the rest of the teams here. It's about to get hectic in the middle side. They have the access to that airdrop as well. But R7 doing a great job of gatekeeping Pain out of that circle. And the rest of the team just drop like flies. And now Core Memory is in trouble as RRQ cases upon them.
RRQ, they have to control Rainbow 7 and at the same time controlling Core Memory. Core Memory has a monster truck that can be used to travel. Dudes managed to throw a grenade. Dawn is on the ground. Jump, trying to find space to get to Dawn, but Jump went down as well. Cougar and Zen trying to go inside the zone as far as they go, but Cougar exploded by Dude's grenade. Zen goes down as well with Miles AWM. Core Memory eliminated on 4th place. Now we 5th place, I'm sorry. We are now left with 4 members. M-Lost finally making their appearance, trying to attack Rainbow 7.
And it's getting really spicy right now as Falcons completely demolish the rest of RQ here. They're gone. Eliminated 3 teams left. R7 juking their way away from Lost. We're putting everything in the kitchen sink to take away this space. Falcons gatekeeping, keeping the teams at bay. Nando 9 explodes as Keroro's nade actually lands onto him as well. But Keroro, he's not done. Nando 9, round 7, also the next one to fall as well. And Falcons collect 4 to their name. And they're not done. Rushing forward. R7 also now in trouble. Their positions are good, looking to overcome. Della as well, trying and struggling, and he cannot find anything. His teammate is close, but separated from one another. And Falcons are just completely overcoming them, swarming them like flies. And R7 is now out.
R7 dropped out on 3rd place, is now left Falcon and Lost. Thailand versus Brazil. Rick B and Jonathan all is left for Lost. Rick B trying his best to get some shots on towards Team Falcon. Peter on the fence, went down to General, but Rick B goes down as well. It's all up to General right now. But General goes down. Keroro is better. And there you go, point rush, game number 1. Booyah belongs to Falcons.
Amazing, amazing stuff. A bit more quiet in the beginning as many of these teams are a little bit more safe when it comes to rotations and play. But that ending was bonkers, if you ask me. It was just chaotic. It was a bloodbath of so many different teams just fighting for that booyah. Everyone brought their A game forward, if you ask me. It's just that Falcons were a little bit faster to the middle side of the circle and did a great job of making sure that everyone is kept out and they were forced to fight off each other. And Falcons, all they had to do, well, just clean house.
Yep, another booyah, another day here for Team Falcons. They're quite, I believe they're quite linear in our current game. We can't say that they're very rushy, but at the same time not very defensive. Quite linear, quite balanced. They've managed to find rotation to enter the new zone safely. Fight off a few teams in the process, but waiting patiently on the last few moments of the game. Firstly, eliminating RRQ, then managing Rainbow 7, and after that, just taking out Team Lost.
That's right, guys, and don't go anywhere, guys. Map 2 coming very soon, so we will be right back.
Tell me, what's bothering you?
We were gonna land the Pochnock. There was one gun, 3 egos. I needed to meditate.
Did you talk about who's gonna get that one gun?
I jumped. I landed first. I got the AK. He pinged it. I touched it.
I don't need loot. I am the weapon.
At least you are not the one who always brings the mad kick, and no one thank you for the support.
I should have just landed in factory.
Welcome back to the panel, survivors, and what a way to start the day with Team Falcons soaring and securing that first booyah here at Point Rush. Already off to a strong start, but it's just game one. We've still got 5 more games to go. Now, before we quickly recap what happened in that previous matchup, we do have a major update for the club championship. So the STC Club Championship update. This one's a pretty big one as well if you tune into Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So Vitality beat out Gaming Gladiators in the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Women's Tournament, and putting that victory, Vitality is now in first place in the club championship, which is a great start for Vitality, but maybe now a bit of added stress to Vitality in Free Fire, because now they need to perform to put Vitality in a fantastic spot here in the EWC Club Championship. So look at that lead, gentlemen. Vitality could be feeling fantastic about that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Team Vitality is feeling the pressure right now, because after that booyah, and Team Falcons is just right on their heels right here. So I guess Team Vitality can really, or will really need to grab the championship just to make sure that their club is on the top.
I mean, they need not only the championship, but they also need Falcons to be at least 4th place so they don't accidentally get overtaken, because I think it's 800 points just for being in 2nd place alone, right?
Yeah, so the points you get if you place high, it's very big, very significant. So basically any top finishers, you kind of want that to happen. So for Vitality, you kind of want to improve that lead, but for everyone else, the race has begun. It's time to catch up. You've got to get that top 8 finish. But of course, for Team Vitality, they also want a top 8 finish here, right? Because that's going to unlock the prerequisite for the prize money. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the case, but let's head on over back to Free Fire, because that's where we are on the broadcast. And I mean, game 1 has happened. Falcons get their first booyah. Let's break down this game. It was a very bizarre one, gentlemen and ladies. It was very slow. We had so many teams survive up until the last couple circles. I think it was what? Still 11 teams were on the 4th, 5th circle? That's almost unheard of on Bermuda.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, a factor is everyone knows Bermuda. Another factor is everyone wants that survivability factor. So they want to grab that booyah, make sure that they have that head start points, so jumping into the grand finals. But there are a few unfortunate events, especially for those at the bottom, like Dragon Esports. Remind, as the casters mentioned, not only once, but if I'm not mistaken, thrice he has been targeted. Thus, they ended up with no points.
Yeah, and Gideon, something I like that you pointed out when we were watching the games earlier, right? The teams were making interesting plays, right? Every move was intentional, very decisive. So it was either you were fighting or you were disengaging, and we saw a lot of retreating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of the more interesting early games that we've seen before, because again, other than the teams that had an active, a proactive approach into the game, Pain Gaming being a big highlight because they were actively hunting down the Dragons, EVOS as well, trying to kind of intercept as many people as possible. But I think at peak itself is where we saw a lot of the teams, hey, they got their spots, we have to disengage. We're seeing a lot of squads actually rotating off of it before we saw the snowball effect coming into ring 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the position of Movistar R7. They are on the rooftop of peak. Boulevard United is down at the ground. And I guess, though they are comfortable with that drop spot, it's just difficult for them to maintain and having someone bothering them. So they just jump out, and that's when two of the players of Boulevard United just go down. And then Team Vitality follow through, and there's a lot that happened.
Well, and something that I want to add about R7, it's because, I mean, they do not respect Buriram as I think Buriram would like to be respected. So they are not scared to face Buriram, I mean, face to face. So it's good to see because I think it kinds of give more fire to the game, you know. And I mean, R7, it's a brand new team playing like something worldwide championship. So Buriram probably doesn't even know the strategy that they will apply at the game. So it kinds of a surprise, you know, for them too.
Can we also talk about the domino effect and some of the rotations that actually happened? I mean, the snowball effect all started when Team Vitality realized, hey, AGAL is kind of outside of the zone. They got the pick off of Dew, and it ended up hurting Fluxo unintentionally, right? The rotations ended up being, hey, AGAL came a little bit late. Fluxo realized, oh, they're behind us. Then they noticed the mill effect where everybody, CRM, Buriram, Team Vitality, all in one place. All of these rotations ended up happening much earlier on into the match. BRU rotated early. R7 had a super powered position because the ring eventually pulled to the opposite side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all that disruption that happened, that's where Team Vitality has been clutched out by Wasana. We also saw Fluxo being eliminated just in that same area, and it does follow through. After the chase from Pain to take down the final survivor, which is Wasana, then that's when it stopped. That's when everything slowed down towards the final few teams.
I mean, the domino effect started because there were just so many players within such a small space. And now begs the question, we're going on to Purgatory next, and this map is obviously much bigger than Bermuda. Does that mean we're going to be maybe seeing that same style? Because to be fair, I do think Purgatory allows for a much more slower playstyle because you're not all cramped onto such a not so tiny island, but it's a little bit bigger than Bermuda. But I mean, is that something that's going to happen? Or do you think after that match, teams are going to look at this and say, okay, if everyone's going to play so passive, it kind of makes sense to just kick it into high gear and actually start playing aggressive?
Yeah, definitely that is what Team Falcons has been doing. Every time a reset is happening, Team Falcons is just grabbing and raking up the points. And I guess R7 is also trying to do the same. From the beginning, they're the ones targeting Dragon Esports, and they took them out. Even as they follow through, even Boulevard United chased out, they're just in there being the apex or trying to be the apex predator until Team Falcons came in.
Well, we'll let the teams get ready. But in the meantime, though, we actually managed to get a quick chat with EVOS before the match was started today. So let's see how EVOS are feeling coming into Point Rush.
Hey everyone, it's EVOS here with Yunso. So right next to me, we have Ray and Rasya. Okay, so you guys, yesterday we just finished our Group A and C. It was a very intense match. So overall, I think everyone are keeping their eyes on EVOS Falcon and Lost. What will you guys do to handle the situation and also to bear the stressfulness things?
Tentunya kemarin kan kalian sudah melihat dan sudah menyelesaikan juga dari tim A dan juga tim C. Dan tentunya sekarang setelah mau masuk ke dalam babak knockout, itu sudah tentunya kalian sebagai top 3 yaitu EVOS, Lost dan juga Falcons gitu kan. Pasti bakal jadi diincar gitu. Bagaimana cara kalian tentunya menekan pressure yang dapat dari tim-tim lain dan juga strategi kalian untuk hari ini?
Mungkin kalau buat hari ini kita bermain buat ngebaca game aja sih. Karena kan kita baru masuk ke rush point. Jadi kita perlu ngebaca game-game lawan hari ini.
So I think for today, we're just gonna try to read how's the opponent gonna play, because this is still the first day, and everybody just gonna do something new as well. So we're just trying to read them for now.
All right, that's really good, Ray. So Rasya, what is your goal today for the Point Rush stage? And realistically, what is the placement do you want in today's match?
Untuk Rasya, tentunya kira-kira secara realistik goal kalian hari ini apa dan placement kalian yang kalian harapkan itu di mana?
Mungkin kalau dari aku masalah placement nanti dulu. Kalau dari mungkin lebih disiplin aja mainnya dan lebih rapi, mungkin itu.
So I don't want to think about placement too much right now. I just want to play better and I just want the team to be more disciplined.
Yeah, oh, discipline. What a very nice answer from our players today. Well done. Really glad and relieved to hear that EVOS is still keeping a very fun vibe so that they can play the best today. Good luck to you, EVOS, today.
All right, sad to see that on the previous game, EVOS Divine was eliminated quite early in the match. And yep, as said by Rasha, discipline is everything. Placement is another thing. So for game number 2, EVOS Divine is looking to try and maybe play a more secure play style to ensure that they don't get eliminated again.
EVOS Divine is interesting because day one we saw them go full set aggressive early game, and the second half of the day they decided, okay, this is not giving us the booyahs that we want, so decided to just really pump the brakes and say it's okay to play a little bit more methodical, it's okay to take our time. After all, regardless, they were still very consistent throughout the entirety of this week. I think they were okay getting that top 4 in most games. Yeah, they got knocked out a little bit early in 1 or 2 games, but mostly they have managed to, I would say, stay intact for the most part of these games. So I'm super excited to see what they want to bring to the table. I mean, we saw a bit of a glimpse of them on game number 1, but for me, we didn't really see that full potential, that full sense style, EVOS Divine style play, and I want to see more.
All right, looks like claps are given. Game number 2 is about to begin. For those who missed game number 1 in Bermuda, it was Falcons that catch the booyah of the opening day of Point Rush stage. Now we are going to game number 2. Purgatory will be the venue. And let's see who will be crowned booyah this time around. For those who might not know, Fly Path is from Central up until Moat House. And such a beautiful day to be in Purgatory. This is one of my favorite maps aside Bermuda. Very large map, very nice terrain to play around with. And it looks like Buriram will still drop on Marble Works, but Mount Villa shots is being heard between Fluxo and Rainbow 7. Same goes to Fire Brigade as RRQ is shooting towards Team Falcons. Paying Gaming, quite a unique formation, covering the whole area of Moat House entirely.
It's good. I mean, I'm more curious about DRG here. They had such a rough start previous map, and most importantly, Remind was knocked down so many times, and they're still going with that same style play. But for now, moving our eyes onto this fight here, we're seeing a lot of eliminations, at least 1 to 2 pickups, and Falcons just running for their lives. And RRQ putting that pressure onto Pina. But Pina, undeterred, unbothered, just moves away, happy to move away with this weapon. It's a nice one too. It's put a lot of chip damage onto Gear, who's just been subbed into this map.
Yep, Pina as well subbed in for On Fire for Team Falcons. So it's sub versus sub. And here comes good from RRQ. No wait, all a rush. Babar Gaming is on the way. And there you go, Mal goes up together with Dutch. It's 2v1. Pina has no chance. And another point goes to Indonesia RRQ. Rexicum Kyon finally showing their true colors here on the Point Rush stage.
When things go wrong, just move forward, just rush forward here. And I have to say, they gave a lot of respect to Falcons, despite the fact it's only just Pina there, moving as a unit, making sure they don't get traded. And now, together, they decide to rush up to where the Falcons are holed up. And Falcons, they are very, very separated here on this map. Pina, the last one that's just come in alone to a Fire Brigade. The other 3 here over to Lumber Mill. And I think that Peter has positioned himself all the way outside. 18 Deer has already positioned himself further out as well, as the other 2 decides to get a bit more aggressive. Trade for trade, limit down, but so is Mal. But numbers advantage still very much there. A 1v1? No, it's a 2v1. And the members of RRQ are now in trouble, but no. The same could be said about Falcons here. I have to say, this fight, you think that one team's getting the lead? The immediate recovery is incredible.
RRQ RRQ, I think they were upset that they could not secure top 3 in the previous game. Now going super aggressive towards the returning champions. Again, the Falcons slowly losing their feathers towards RRQ. 5 elimination kills. And this is just between RRQ and Falcons. RRQ did not hunt any other team, it's just Falcons alone. So 5 times Team Falcon experienced death. Time and time again, they have to go down, revive back, go down again, revive back. So I think the only option for Falcon is just to try and stay away from Lumber Mill. And now we're looking at Marvelworks. Fluxo has started their route by hunting down Boulevard, but it looks like Gio is the one hunted down.
These immediate trades from all these teams just show how aware they are and how quick their rotations are from each other as well. Wasana barely even spots the hit of Bobs there. Bobs take a lot of damage. He's still hunkered down behind that glue wall, but not for long. Gio does get eliminated, and Wasana, he wants to go for the chase. The rest of the team here understanding the predicament. I think it's a great idea for the rest of Fluxo to say it's okay, move all the way back, and just reset ourselves to be able to continue on this map as well. As for me, they got another kill to their name, and honestly, flex that.
Yeah, that was the replay of Peter taking down a member from Team Lost. I could only see it on the kill feed. But yeah, talking about playing gaming, they dropped quite uniquely here, covering the whole side of Modehouse. I think they trust each members of Paying Gaming to take care of themselves, try to play solo, but that is a good strategy. Once one of your team members interacted with an enemy team, and let's say if that person went down, the other 3 members could actually maybe inculcate another plan to stay away. Meanwhile, for AGAL, their rotation towards campsite is now being bothered by Vitality. Kyung was shot a few times, but still braving himself to try to use the mini jump pad together with the other members of a Team Vitality. However, nearby there is a core memory KOG.
Keroro has revived the leader. Yeah, to be expected as EVOS. Now we wanted to see their facts, and here we go as turnout falls Chinoy as well. And this team is just so unrelenting. They are coming in from so many different angles. It's really hard for AGL to be able to play off each other. They're isolated, separated, and just completely overwhelmed. Thankfully, there's still one more member still very much alive. Happy to bring them back into the game. I'm not too sure where exactly he is. The rest of the team just skedaddling away, and I think they want to go for this hunt.
Yeah, he went to the nearest vending machine, I believe.
No,
but no. You revived with an M82B in hand. Goes down for the second time in our second game right here. So, yep, AGAL, they were hunting, they were actually shooting towards Vitality, but at the same time, EVOS came back, backstabbed them, and disturbed them, and almost eliminated them. Again, EVOS, with their surprise strategy, I don't think Vitality knew that EVOS Divine was around. When they were using the jump pad, they were thinking, okay, we are in the clear, let's rotate to another place. We might not be interacting with an enemy team. Now EVOS Divine is there. Inside the arsenal, Dix goes down. Ray with nice shot with the shotgun. Azriel as well, right on the floor. However, aim god goes red. Ray not looking very good in terms of HP. 10 HP left. But Koja doing a lot of work. But sadly, work is not there. Only Kyung is left. And there you go. Bye-bye, Vitality. 12th place for them in Purgatory. I could see Rasha say, woo-hoo! From EVOS Divine. Nice sweep from the White Tigers.
And this is incredible coming in from EVOS, understanding how exactly to play that. Honestly, I understand what Vitality wants to do, which is to make a bit more space between them, hunker down inside of the Arsenal. But the problem with Arsenal is that they have 2 different openings. And EVOS understood the assignment. 2 openings, no problem. Plug in one side, rush in from the other, and suddenly you are just choked and pincered in there. No place to move at all, as the utilities were thrown in as well. You cannot fight back in that situation. And Vitality, this must be heartbreaking for them, knowing that, you know, you are an aggressive team and you are the ones who are the hunters. This time around,
Ash,
you are the hunted.
do you want to know something? After Vitality was eliminated, RRQ was eliminated by Dragons. Impressive stuff. I wish we can get a replay to see how did Dragons execute their plan in Central to oust out RRQ. Because if you look in the history of Rex Supreme Kyon, RRQ is basically their headquarters. But however, in Brasilia, right around the housing area. On the southern side, you could look like Buriram and R7 is added. This is a rematch between the Thailand and Brazilian team, and it looks like Buriram might win this, cornering Daya and Games King in one corner. Rogers has been put out, but still nobody goes down just yet. Get high, Moshi and Wasala. Joanna apparently is not in the fray. Same goes to Joker from Rainbow 7. Daya is right outside, but it looks like Get High is on the ground. Opportunity for Rainbow 7 to go for the wipe, and they did. Blue and blue, it looks like Buriram is now no more in our game, I believe. Yep, I could confirm that. Time plays for Buriram, and this is a replay from how Dragons control RRQ. They put Remind in a very nice spot to oversee, to spot members of RRQ. Again, Remind doing so much work for Dragons, and that is amazing coming from a team from Middle East, North Africa.
Coming back to the fight against Buriram United as well, I think that Buriram United had the right idea of breaching into that compound, but the problem is they didn't realize that the other members of R7 were on the top side of that building here. It was so chaotic. Yes, one member fell, but it allowed for the other members to just go upstairs, reposition themselves on the outside. And speaking of repositions and fights here, AGL, Chinoy, again in trouble as the members of Lost. They were just kind of walking around, wandering around on the outer skirts, found him, gets a pick off, and for Lost, they haven't really been the loudest like they were this week as well today. So this might be the beginning of that, as Saifa as well will be knocked down in this situation. Lost have to just sweep out around the area, and every time you know that when Lost just commits, it could be quite bloody. But EVOS also has other things in mind. As Lost goes in for those fights, makes their presence known, EVOS says, let's pressure them.
Lost could not actually cross the river as EVOS is waiting for them on the other side. And yeah, while you were pushing points about Buriram, R7 has been hunting them ever since we started our EWC. There you go. Good kill here from EVOS. AGAL still have a few remaining members still alive. EVOS, after a very devastating game number 1, they come back strong here in game number 2. 10 elimination points in 10 minutes. And I believe they could still add more. And fun right here for Pain Gaming. No rush, no how. They're quite far from the zone, but yep, with the jeep that they have, they can just cruise around Purgatory. On your left, this is fields where everybody was running for their lives. That is the tour for Team Pain Gaming, and for Dragons. This is the underdogs of our current stage of EWC, doing very well, and AGL yet again been eliminated by EVOS Divine, and that is elimination number 11.
Rough circle as well toward Lumber Mill here. Body of water through it as well. So it's about Metatron making sure where exactly the circle is going to shift next. A lot of teams rotating over from northern side here, looking at Pain and Fluxo, who's I think meeting onto the northern side there onto a fight. There we go. As Pain were very much ready for it as well. For Fluxo moving in and out of that time turner is just doing a magic for them as well. But quick trades all around for both teams as well. But the one on the front foot here is Pain, who completely overcome Fluxo in a blink of an eye.
The Global Finals 2024 champions is not looking too hot here. Coming in towards the point rush stage, could not handle Pain Gaming that was coming into the new zone. Yeah, Fluxo really needs to step up their game. This is not the Fluxo that we see in Rio de Janeiro. This is just something foreign, something new, something that we do not see a Fluxo team does. So I believe maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a very bad week for Fluxo.
No, I think it's a great week for Pain, actually. Look how aggressive they are rushing toward R7 here. But R7 was already raiding. They already had the glue wall set up here. And Peter decides to make the glue walls his own. Takes Games King down quickly, but AGL also is here. It's a three-way fight, and everyone it does an all-out free-for-all. Peter gets one. Della knocked out. Jiu as well. R7 is just somehow still surviving this onslaught. Barely any players left alive, but Pain not allowing that to happen anytime longer here. Gets a pickup as well onto Peter. And AGL not done quite yet, because here are the White Tigers who are rushing toward Pain Gaming. Yeah, Pain Gaming wants to bring in the Pain, but the Tigers as well. Very much ready for it. Noda X finds Ray. Peter also will be traded out by Coach Chill. What a nice nade thrown out here as Coach Chill throws in that last nade as well. Finds the final member, and Gus is eliminated. Pain Gaming, you have overstayed your welcome. A bit too aggressive.
A very aggressive play by Pain Gaming. They had 11 elimination kills before being wiped by EVOS. Again, the White Tigers, EVOS, doing so well here in Purgatory. And right now, they are going back, trying to control the teams from Lumber Mill to not cross the river right in front. Teams that are on the side of Fire Brigade are Team Falcon, Team Lost, Dragons, and CRM. Basically, 4 out of 6 teams are outside, on the other side of the river across Team EVOS. Including AGL also. So only EVOS Divine here on the Brasilia side. By no, they tried to go in, but sadly, Aim guard was aimed down. However, Coach Chill came in the nick of time to get him up back in his fit. Jump running quite low. Rasha jumps in, but it's okay. He could crawl behind the stone and be picked up by his own teammate. And to add blessing to their grace, there is a monster truck that just dropped right in front of them. They could use that as cover, but as much as they would like to use it as cover, Team Core Memory is not giving them a good time. Falcon has been eliminated on 6th place, but it looks like EVOS might actually follow up with them on 5th. As shots raining down by Core Memory. They are really using that monster truck feats for days as jump takes down Coach Chill. Meanwhile, on Lumber Mill, Dragon doing so good. They took down Lost, but Rimai could not survive the zone. And there goes Rimai. AGAL might come as well on 3rd place after Dragons on 4th. Now we are left with Core Memory and also EVOS Divine.
Honestly, I'm quite surprised that EVOS Divine is still alive and kicking here. They didn't have a lot of space. That tiny rock was their only saving grace here, but now the circle shrinks. They're forced to rush forward out here in the open, and everything in the kitchen sink thrown out once again. But EVOS rushes forward, wants to take away that space, but he's all alone. Aim God, no one to trade him. Rasha rushing away for his life, and Core Memory, that pressure is great for them, and they take away this booyah.
A very coordinated and quite easy booyah for Core Memory. They have rained down Team EVOS for quite a long time, causing them to use a lot of their med kits and possibly a few glue walls in the same process. When EVOS tries to rotate away, tries to find that angle to avoid shots from Core Memory, sadly, there is one member that is on top of one of the towers nearby, had a clear angle, had a clear view onto EVOS Divine. Utilities were set. Core Memory has stopped EVOS Divine in their tracks, and that is where they went in. They jumped in. They know EVOS Divine is currently weak, and they went in for the wipe. Kudos to Core Memories as well as EVOS Divine. They have survived for quite a long time. And for the EVOS Divine, for game number 2 Purgatory, they are the most aggressive and competitive team that existed in that game.
For now, we have an interview on stage here. Carol, what is going on down there?
Wow, it's getting hot here, and it's all about the point rush stage. And right now we have to have a word with Team Falcons, the reigning champions, and so far they have done so good. And of course, we are watching such a great dominance by the Asian teams. But right now, it's all about Team Falcons. I have here with me Peter. Thanks so much for the interview. Let's talk a little bit about the perfect time that you're having here so far. You swap a whole squad, you send all them back to the lobby like in a perfect time. And I would like to know how much of that was the preparation versus instinct.
ก็เมื่อสักครู่นะฮะเราได้เคลียร์แบบว่าเคลียร์เราได้สวีปเคลียร์หลายๆทีมเลยนะฮะส่งกลับไปนั่งรออยู่ที่ล็อบบี้เลยฮะอยากรู้ว่าเราได้ณตอนนั้นเราคิดอะไรบ้างครับหรือว่ามันเป็นไปตามสัญชาตญาณอย่างเดียวล้วนๆเลยครับ
ก็เล่นตามวงครับไม่ได้มีอะไรมากเลยก็เราเล่นตามสไตล์ของเราครับ
Actually there's nothing like much about that. We just play like basis on like usually we just play like depends on the circle and like everything has just going according to our plans.
But does Peter have any preparation, like individual preparation?
มีการแบบว่าได้เตรียมตัวแบบว่าอะไรเป็นพิเศษบ้างไหมครับ
ก็แค่เล่นให้เร็วกว่าเดิมครับ
So we increase the game pace little by little.
Okay, for us to finish our interview, let's talk about a little bit of the team synergy. We are watching great synergy between you guys, and specifically Pina subbing in for On Fire. What was the vibe like, the team right now? Because you guys changed the rules from last year, and how was this new dynamic?
ก็เดี๋ยวมาพูดคุยกันเรื่องของซินเนอร์จีของทีมบ้างนะฮะเคมีของในทีมได้มีการเปลี่ยนตัวผู้เล่นเข้ามาเนี่ยฮะมันมีอะไรเปลี่ยนแปลงไปบ้างไหมครับ
ก็ไม่มีอะไรเปลี่ยนแปลงมากครับเพราะว่าผู้เล่นของเราทุกคนก็เล่นได้ดีอยู่แล้วครับ
Actually, there's no difference at all because like every player we have like really good skill already. So just a little of adjustment, then we are ready to go.
All right, they are definitely ready to go here at AWC 2025. We have heard enough from Team Falcons, and right now we just wanted to watch more and more from this team. Thanks so much for the interview. Good luck in the rest of the day. And right now we're gonna have a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, it's Yunso, and I'm right here at the Boulevard Street. I wish you guys could be here because it's very fun here. Many things to explore. But you know what, I'm kind of having a bad day because all of my city regions, they seem to be like, doesn't have a good game. So I'm going to this ice cream store to sweetening my things out. Hello. So there are plenty of flavors, but I think I'm going to do a mix. Everything. Okay. I've never seen this type. I mean, I saw it a lot on social, but I never had it before. But it looks interesting. What is this? How can he?
Thank you.
What is it?
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Am I being blessed?
Ice cream. Yes.
That's big. How did?
Thank you. Focus,
when I can. Now I understand the people like on social when they need their ice cream, but they cannot have their ice cream actually. But how did he pluck a big thing like that? Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought I can.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh. How can? Thank you. Finally, I have my ice cream here. Enjoy.
Escogí Free Fire porque lo empecé a jugar con mis primos o familiares, entonces pasaba buen tiempo con ellos jugando Free. Bueno, mi motivación siempre va a ser mi familia y mis amigos que siempre me apoyan en todo esto.
He is the clutch king of R7.
La verdad, un sueño, es como algo muy importante para mí en verdad. Pues vengo a ganar, obviamente. Creo que es uno de mis mayores sueños, entonces obviamente vengo con todo el power.
Movistar R7!
Creo que lo que más nos diferencia como equipo es la sinergia que tenemos todos juntos y el buen ambiente que manejamos.
Come on, don't sleep, man.
¿Cuál tu arma favorita?
La espada bulla.
Now they're still hunting those white tigers.
No depende contra nadie con quien me esté enfrentando. Siempre soy agresivo.
Games Kings is going to be player number 2 to make contact right around the corner.
Nosotros no tenemos rivales para, o sea, sí, no tenemos rivales. Todos los tomamos como por igual.
Games King enter the 10 and Moji is on the ground, giving the 5th point here for R7.
Que se preparen porque R7 va a ir a comerse a todo el mapa.
But R7 playing it smart, going in for the flank around, but one great big mistake, and R7 delivers the first booyah of the day. Movie star R7 proving exactly who the stars are.
ไม่ได้รอจอดไม่รอเอ๊ะมีแม็กเอให้ทิ้งให้กูบ้างกูรอจอดให้
เดี๋ยวหมดแล้วนะกูอยากดันว่ะ
รอพี่รอดันนะเว้ย
ดันขึ้นซ้ายมาขึ้นซ้ายมาจับมา
โอเค
กูปาเขียวให้นะกูปาเขียวให้
กูมีการระเบิด
ไอ้ซ้ายจะดาว
กดการระเบิดให้
จับกวาดกลาง
ตัวนี้ให้
ดาวสวยดาว1แล้วมันดีไปหลังเฮ้ยมันกดเข็ม
ดาว
เฮ้ยมีต้องออกตรงนี้
หมดเว้ยสวยมาดิวะมาดิ
Core Memory launched themselves up that leaderboard by securing a booyah on Purgatory. And just when we think we know what's kind of happening in these matches on the panel, it just seems that there's just a brand new surprise. It looked like it was going to be Falcons just doing their old shenanigans, biding their time, making it to that circle, but they get cut down in that game. EVOS also looking like monsters in that game, also getting cut down just because of that circle, Gideon. Break it down because I know you have all the details on what was really the main factor as to why Core Memory got that booyah.
I mean, there's two main factors here, right? We can talk about the end circle, which we'll get into in just a little bit, but let's talk about the very beginning of the game, because right now it's a sick game of Mafia Werewolf where that one guy immediately out of the gate starts pointing at people saying, hey, I think it's you. You're the guy who's taking everybody out. The accuser in this particular case is going to be R7, Pain Gaming, alongside with RRQ, which is very surprising because the Indonesian playstyle is very much around, I want to aggress once I have information, when I know what that final ring looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one thing that we are, well, not really expecting to see, but I love seeing. But as we look in the match ranking right now, despite of Core Memory XKOG grabbing that booyah, Evo's Vine just managed to grab a lot of elimination. So I guess at this point, there's still a chase on that leaderboard. Later on, we might see who will be on the top.
I mean, for Core Memory, I think they are trying to play it safe, you know. They are not chasing to fight against other teams, and that's the reason that they only got, 5 eliminations. But that's not bad because they also had the booyah, so they can have like a bunch of points, and maybe if they keep that type of game, they can be, in the top of the ranking, you know.
I mean, it does help to play safe, especially for Point Rush, right? Because you could try to play the very risky play style, you try to be the aggressors, but we've seen time and time again, sometimes it just doesn't work. And I think especially for today, with how slowly and how intentionally teams are moving on the map, it's almost like if you try to jump on them, they're going to punish you if you overstep.
But that's the thing, right? The only teams that really got hard punished in this particular case, were one of the aggressors, which in this case is RRQ, eventually taken out by DRG, which is great for them because they ended up with 15 points at the very end. And then you were wondering, hey, what about the other aggressors? Pain Gaming and R7, despite being hyper aggressive, and Pain Gaming in particular putting an insane amount of pressure onto Fluxo, we're walking away with 16 points on that very first page, despite not being able to get into those final rings. So technically it works out.
Well, we're going to give the teams a bit of a breather as they get ready for their next matchup, but we are going to have a little bit more fun because we have the Dr. Slime and Al Habib hot takes. Let's see what the teams have to say.
What is up, folks? Welcome to Hot Takes at Free Fire at Esports World Cup 2025. I'm your host, Husky, and with me on the couch today, I got two handsome gentlemen from Team Falcons. I think the weather in Riyadh is perfect for this segment because it's pretty hot out there, and that's why we're having hot takes. So now I want to hear your hot takes, right? The most unpopular opinion you have. What are your odds of winning? 0 to 100. Can Team Falcons win again?
70 แล้วกันผม50-50 เพราะว่ามันเปลี่ยนกฎกติกามาใหม่แล้วมีกฎใหม่เข้ามาทำให้หลายๆทีมมีโอกาสได้แชมป์มากขึ้น
if there's one team that you guys want to face, you can 100% beat no matter what. You see them, you're gonna crush them like bugs. There's nothing they can do against you. Which team is that?
สำหรับผมว่าน่าจะเป็นทุกทีมที่ไม่ใช่ไทยกับบราซิลครับผมก็คิดจากปากีสถาน
Okay, what about players, right? Which player, and I need you to name names, right? Give me one name. Which player you think is the worst player in the tournament? You gotta name names. It's getting hot. We need to name some names.
ปีเตอร์จากทีมฟอลคอนนะเพราะเริ่มกินเยอะกันแล้วเดี๋ยวเล่นไม่ไหวไปมันไปเตะเลย
Coming into this EWC, if there's one thing you want to say to everyone else.
ที่นี่ก็เป็นถิ่นทีมฟอลคอนครับก็มาหาเรื่องผมก็ระวังโดนคนดู อันนี้นะครับ ก็รอดูในเกมดีกว่าครับ
So on final one, do you really think Brazil can win?
ก็ผมนะผมคิดว่าไม่ได้มีผลอะไรครับเพราะว่าแชมป์มันก็เปลี่ยนแปลงกันได้ตลอดครับมีให้แก้มืออีกหลายรายการครับก็ไม่มีผลอะไรมากครับเพราะกฎใหม่ใครก็แชมป์ก็ได้
Thank you very much, Limit and On Fire, and that wraps up our hot takes for EWC Free Fire 2025. We'll see you in the next one.
I see them breathing a little bit of fire there.
I hate how they talked about Hot Shot like that. Come on, they were grief from top 12, man. It wasn't their fault. They played well.
There's one thing for sure, though. I mean, even from beginning up until the end, when they talk about the rules, they're still worried, despite of being the champion. So I guess that's what makes this new rule gets the game exciting.
Well, and I do agree with them. I actually think that this type of format of the championship, I mean, anyone can be the winner. So I kind of respect, and I like that they mention about Brazilian teams. But well, we need to see what will happen today.
All right, thank you so much, panelists. It looks like we're almost ready to jump into game number 3. So going to be sending it over to our wonderful casters on the stage, AJ and Husky. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Danny. Survivors, are you all ready? You're back with your boys, Husky and Mustachio. This is the head-to-head, and it looks like these teams just can't wait to go up against each other. We've got Lost, we've got Falcons. Falcons obviously dominating game 1, but these Brazilians aren't too far away from them. They dominated the knockout stage. Both these teams scoring big numbers, and they're here to rock it once again.
Absolutely, and the rivalry between Brazil and Thailand continues, right? We also have Fluxo against Buriram United Esports. The rivalry goes back seasons and years on the world stage. BRU has beaten Fluxo. Fluxo has beaten BRU, but I am always focused on the captains, Bobs and Jonah, the minds, the brains, the strategists behind the teams, and they always pull off something miraculous and amazing, but so far, they haven't found success.
Both teams 2-time world champs, but here at Point Rush, they are rushing to find themselves as well as some sort of form out there because they are getting trashed, right? First 2 games, both squads getting kicked out very early on. And of course, we've got Movistar R7 looking for the top, hunting down the Dragons as well as teams like Fluxo. But you know what? We got to throw it back to the casters. You guys enjoy the games. Husky and I will be back with you guys a little bit later.
Thanks very much, Husky and AJ. We will definitely be enjoying this one. We saw R7 playing the Hunter. My question is, are teams going to rally back and hunt them back in return? You can't just sit down and take it. You got to rise up. You got to stand up for yourselves.
Definitely. We had a very good run here for Esports Divine as well for the second game, but sadly no cigar for the Booyah, despite having the most point in the game. Coming into game number 3 or match number 3, Kalahari will be the place. And this is where a lot of Indonesian teams are strong at. Some of the contenders would be RRQ and EVOS as well. And as for Team Falcons, currently they are looking strong here with 28 points in the Point Rush stage, looking to defend their title in EWC 2025. So flight path was from Shrines up until Mammoth. And who is taking taking Refinery. Yes, as usual, we're gonna see RRQ right in the smack center of Kalahari. Buriram will be on Stone Ridge. Nearby is actually Fluxo dropping around the area of the sub. Command post will be dominated by Dragon. Santa Catarina for Memory EVOS again on confinement. It looks like there's no fighting over spots right here, but RRQ might oversee the area of foundation that is currently being set as home ground for EGAL. Shots fired by Abai towards Terna. I believe Terna is now behind cover as the shot stopped. And meanwhile, in Santa Catarina, Core Memory XKUG Thailand team. This is the team that managed to rake in the Booyah for game number 2 in Purgatory. So in Kalahari, will they be able to be the first team to repeat back-to-back Booyah? Or will we be seeing again another different team taking up that title?
Okay, interesting here as well. I mean, Riyadh United as well as Fluxo were side by side. I was keeping an eye out onto RRQ. I mean, they have been slowly making their way to Foundation and chasing out AGAL, who clearly want nothing of that at all. Some chip damage onto Saifa and Terna as well, but no answers quite yet. Chinoy does put in a bit more pressure, but it doesn't really deter Dutz, but it does put him away. And my question for RRQ is, you send on players one by one here. Mal will be that first point of contact, just rushing up forward. Could be able to go for this isolated 1v1 against Saifa, but I think Saifa is aware that he's close, and Mal in a very dangerous position. He's all alone here with the majority of AGL members there. Puts a lot of damage in as well. Gonna break that drone away from them. And they're not shy to really, I think, show their presence around the area, just to keep RRQ wondering, okay, if someone is here, the crossfires are kind of lethal. Is it worth it for us to actually full send commit onto this team?
Yeah, and I'm not so sure will it be good or not, as R7 is making their way to the war grounds between RRQ and AGAL. Spotting members from Rainbow 7, RRQ instantly fall back towards Foundation, leaving AGAL in the mercy of the Latam team. But sadly, Games King is now not in the game as he has been eliminated, and as one member from Team R7, Hux was down, but he was up back again. Nice revenge by Dea, taking down Dew. Saifa tries to take revenge for Dew, but it looks like it's going to be Terna up on the spotlight, taking down Hux. But Saifa on the back goes down. Dea as well. Terna is now showing his capabilities in the game, taking down 2 members of Rainbow 7. And right now, R7 is left with only 1.
The hunters become hunted. At this point, you really got to rally back, and that's exactly what happened at Dia Dragons. They find themselves in a pickle here as Falcons look to aggress. They have put down, Peanut has already been put down, but the rest of DRG still very much in trouble as CMOX falls. They do answer back here, but RQ is close. They find one member. They knock down Yasir as well for Limit in that game. Not the problem to bring him back alive as well. RQ may have overaggressed here, but no, they are doing this execution to perfection, completely overrunning and overcoming all of the members of Falcons, leaving Limit all on its lonesome away. And RQ, they are looking to chase. Limit has a lot of space between him and the team, but he has to make sure that he survives. And he's in a very dangerous predicament. There are teams close by who are really eager to be able to find him and get that one precious point in the back. But now it might be Divine. They're gonna rush onto him. He's inside of the building all alone. There's a meat grinder of death for him. And the Falcons just get destroyed.
Limit was just a tad bit too late to use the mini jump pad that was set up by his previous teammate to escape. RRQ, nice rotation from Foundation. They return back on towards Refinery, sees the Falcon versus Dragons fight, and Falcons, despite almost eliminating Dragons, they were then decimated by the third party set by RRQ. And with that said, Falcons has to stay on 12th place right here as they have been eliminated by Team RRQ. Meanwhile, on Shrine, Indonesia versus Indonesia, Vitality versus EVOS Divine, and Dix was shot. Rasa a little bit slow on taking that final kill. Koja Nice glue wall setup, avoiding Ray from pushing over. Stepping out from the red zone of Skylar. Koja with a VSK in hand has to forfeit his match towards Ray. Nice execution. Now Vitality, Azrael and Kyung left. Azrael now is being settled by Kochil and Emga. It's going to be 2v1. Azrael now turns red. We are left with only Kyung. Will Kyung be able to save Vitality? All he needs to do is find space, but now Kochil goes in. Blue wall is up for Vitality. Kyung needs to escape, running towards the back. Quite low, but finally looks like Kyung managed to buy time for the other members of Vitality to come back in. Kyung goes down. More points towards EVOS Divine.
EVOS are just so aggressive. This is the EVOS Divine that we saw on day one. Very aggressive, quick to this fight, and so eager to go for these, for these aggressive style plays. They are just, I would say, a lot of respect put in here. The same could be said about R7 toward the member of AGL, sending 2 players straight to make sure that deal will be secured. And R7, they've been moving aggressively around the map, finding these very aggressive pickoffs, and I think it's been giving them dividends in terms of eliminations, because right now I think they have 3 points.
EGAL, I don't think Kalahari is a very lucky map for them. After their interaction with Rainbow 7 earlier in Old Hampton, they met again in the sub. And right now, AGAL is under fire by Pain Gaming. So they were under fire by RRQ as well for a short period of time. There you go, Terna and Saifa were taken down. It's left with Chino and Dew. However, they are quite far away towards the northern side of the map near Old Hampton. So Pain secures the kill number 5. And for the other members of AGAL, I believe Pain Gaming could not get to them. So Dio and Chinook is safe for the current time being. They need to find time and space and also coins to get back Terna and Saifa. And Pain Gaming, one of the contenders that is going strong here in EWC 2025, is looking very great in game number 3. And we are now looking Buriram being Spider-Man, grappling on towards Refinery.
RQ has been hanging around toward Foundation for quite some time as well. Saw a bit of an escape for Core Memory. I'm curious to see what's going on there.
Maybe that's the zone.
Might be. There we go. Core Memory on the screen already. RQ is close by. But at the same time, we got EVOS also just rushing into the area close by, just still chasing out the members of AGL here. AGL, you think that you're out of the blue? No, you're not. You're in trouble. And got balls, but they immediately trade outs from their teammates is incredible. How quickly this team can execute onto you. You blink and you're dead. Saifa down, Noi as well. And AGL, what are you gonna do here? You bring back a member, you're down again. Hasn't been able to find the best situation to recover every time this happens. Yep, there we go. There's Turna. Ray finds him quickly.
So
and yep, only Dew left all alone. And I think it's up to him to bring back his team into the game.
For those who might not know, Dew is nearby shrines on the northern side of Kalahari. But we're looking at Foundation. It's Core Memory and RRQ. Yep, Dew all alone and far. However, his pathing will meet together with Dix. They are in the same place.
Oh no, Dew.
Yeah, shots fired towards Dew. Dix. It's not bothered by Dew, thinking that maybe Dew is not alone. And Dix revives Goja, but oh, it's Raja! Raja is the person that has found you. So EGAL, sadly, Dew tried his best. The box of honor has been placed shut permanently in shrine for Kalahari.
I have to say that EVOS have been really persistent if they are chasing. I think this fight, this chase has been going for quite some time now, and Lost looking to completely overwhelm Vitality. Vitality was the team that was aggressing here, but Lost, you have to really give it to them. They are a team that knows how exactly to deal with these executions, deal with these aggressions. They welcome it with open arms. As RQ trying to find a different way forward here, Pain wants to bring Pain onto them as well, but none of the damage actually clipping onto the members of RQ. So they're just chilling for the time being here. The only thing separating these two is that building. As Core Memory looks to address, R7 moves away. Dragons wants to move into this fight as well. There's so many things happening all around this map. But in this situation, Core Memory giving a little space away, but over onto this side, it's a bit of a stalemate.
4 teams are in the same area. Foundation are here. Pain has to fall back as they lost Gus and Noda. Peter and Moldavia up to go for the long-range fight. They have a mini jump pad steadily behind this electrical tower. Dragons, all 4 still standing. R7 and Core Memory had their brawl just a little bit, and as said by Tash, there is no decisive winner between R7 and Core Memory, still on the stalemate. Meanwhile, Loss is actually pushing Vitality away. Another stalemate as well had happened, but now in Foundation, right around the area, we got RRQ, we got Vitality, we got Dragons, we got Pain, we got Core Memory, KOG, and across the river we have EVOS.
Fluxo
so
here too.
very concentrated as well. Yeah, Fluxo as well is slowly making their way in the same vicinity. Pain Gaming managed to get Noda and Gus back. Remind spotted M7, and that goes down. The sniper for Fluxo.
The DRG, they're rallying back. Not the best or best outcome for them to defeat this map, but this time they've decided to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more proactive when it comes to rotating around that circle as well. They put their hand in the cookie jar, became that third party, got some eliminations out of it, then they have gotten 4 eliminations up until now as well. Fluxo currently on the back foot here, 2-2 formation, I believe, for them, whereas, sorry, 3-1 formation, excuse me, as they try to figure out a way to get into this circle, try to find out an opening, try to find out which team is a bit more weak when it comes to execution, so they're able to overwhelm. But the circle is shifting. Time not on many of these teams' sides, especially EVOS, who are a little bit more late to this rotation, could potentially try and find Pain as they desperately find their way into Foundation.
It's gonna be chaos here, Tash, as we are still left with 10 teams. Quite a small safe zone right here.
There we
Noda
go.
is yet again went to the CCTV area as he has been taken down by Ray. Peter will join Noda as well. So now Pain Gaming, I believe, is left with only 1 remaining member. Players inside Foundation, they are right now currently quite quiet. And for Team Lost, they are slowly making their way towards the mid side of the map, I mean the new zone. And Pain Gaming, the last remaining member was found, so Pain Gaming has been eliminated on time's place. So Dragon and Fluxo is still at it. But at the same time, you can see that R7 and Core Memory still looking at each other, still being careful not to, you know, let anyone in to both particular places. And at the same time, you can see on the minimap, EVOS is making their way towards Fluxo and Dragon. But however, the bad side of things is now on the side of Fluxo, as they are being pinned by both the Dragons and also the Tigers. Bob goes down, puts it, and is the only one left. Bob did not be saved. Yasser, despite being taken down, Seafox is going for the person. Seafox goes down together with Simox. Things are not looking good for Tigers. They wanted to go for the attack, but it looks like they are being attacked in the end. You and Butsi stay quiet. But Seafox could not be safe at all because he is in a very hard area for Yasser and Remind to go. So it looks like Dragons is retreating back as the Tigers pushing forward. Fluxo remaining in the same area, still yet to be found by EVOS, and at the same time, Lost jumping in into Foundation, being caught off guard by Vitality.
I have to say, this is all very, very aggressive and very desperate for some of these teams as well. Just landing, finding any form of space out there in the open. There's not a lot of cover. If you think about it, every single cover and corner has already been occupied, and it is just nasty out here. As Nando 9 falls, Cougar to get that 1 point, and it's great for him. Lost eliminated at 8, and this is very, very rare. DRG had an upper hand, and now they are the ones in trouble. They're all around the space, but EVOS, they're on fire, and they thrive on this chaos. EVOS rush up forward. Ray, as the highest amount of damage dealer, the tip of the spear for this team, has doing a great job to just start these fights as well. But EVOS finds Vitality, eliminates them decisively, with things blowing to smithereens quickly, and 7th place for this team. But EVOS not done quite yet. They're rushing forward here, moving in tandem with the zone. Whoever that moves, they're in trouble, but somehow DRG has managed to evade them, and the same could be said about RRQ.
18 elimination points for EVOS currently. You can see that they are currently holding 32 points in our point stage just from the eliminations and their previous games alone. So EVOS really wants that 20 elimination kills in this match. Ray goes for the elevated area. Buriram, finally we see Buriram trying to do something in the map. RRQ in cover. Buriram in the grace and mercy of Core Memory and a member from Three Tigers. Yasir is trying to fall back. EVOS is being trapped by RRQ, but RRQ looks like they are stuck inside their own cabin. They can't go out. Grenades, if grenades were to enter in the cabins of Team RRQ, we could see a wipeout. You look, Russia has to opt to go for the ledges in order to get RRQ, but sadly, EVOS goes down. RRQ managed to finish them off. Team goes to Dragons for the other team. Now we are left with RRQ, Buriram, Core Memory, and R7.
I have to say that was a very aggressive approach here by EVOS, perhaps an overheat. They were out there in the open, they could not move and reposition themselves. But BRU, they show their fangs here quite late, but definitely here. 4 eliminations already. Wasana looking to start something, anything, moving together as a team. But they are currently in the middle of the pack here. Sandwich have to really be careful of where exactly they decide to peek out here. But they are not going to stop aggressing here as Core Memory from the top side sends big brain over to this team, jumping down a triple kill to his name. Core Memory already with a 5, breaking down those blue walls here, trying to find the other members of Gurram Unit who are stuck inside of that compound. Not going to be the easiest in terms of positioning as well. Have to be careful, but RQ at the bottom side with R7 as well, who are very, very optimistic. So for now, a stalemate to cool things off.
Yeah, quite enough for a while, but now R7 said, no, quiet, please. We want to play. They took down dudes. It's only 18 years left. Newest member from RRQ, and he goes down swinging as well. So RRQ on 4th place. We still yet to see Buriram shine. They were quite quiet here in Kalahari. There was not much interaction between BRU and the other teams. So coming into these last few moments, this is where BRU usually shine. So Core Memory on the sideline, only separated with one wall. R7 actually have good point of view towards both teams actually, but Buriram tries to go towards the left side of Rainbow 7, denied by a glue melter. However, Joanna, captain for the Buriram, will try to scout a little bit towards the front to see what's happening. And Rainbow 7 right now, it has to get busy trying to take Team Core Memory that is coming from the right side. So in a sense, Rainbow 7 is technically pinned, but no! Buriram caught Cougar and Dawn. Shots has been fired towards Core Memory. They have to sit quiet. They have to rest and revive and reset.
And this is a very, very dangerous zone as well, because the top of the side of the building there is out there in the open. You throw a nade and the whole team just explodes to smithereens here. Buriram United on the back foot. The low ground is what they're going to be playing for, but they're trying to deny any angles that R7 can abuse. Everyone lying in wait to see who exactly will be popping their heads out first. A bit of chip damage all around here for every one of these teams here, but Buriram United possibly have gotten a bit too aggressive. Get high, eats a bit of damage here, but Buriram United managed to climb up onto this terrain and to the building as well. R7 tries to aggress, cannot move, cannot see, because they also have to worry about Core Memory, who are currently having their eyes onto them as well. Core Memory denying the space away from R7, pushing down those blue walls, denying them the push. For Joker, R7 finds 2 members already. Wasana, Dawn, knocked down already. Pain for above, Hux will fall as well. But everyone, it's a free-for-all. No clue where to go, how to play. But here is Buriram United trying their best to break these blue walls. Cannot move. It's just a matter of who can survive for the long time longer, because every single player has been separated by just these blue walls. These walls as well. Everyone jumping forward. Here's Games King trying to see whether I can see ahead. Finds nothing at all. It is cacophony. No one is dying. What is happening here? Jump fall sense as well. Jonah competes at the least as well. The time turner denies them a bit more space, but Cougar and the rest of the team are already out here. Core Memory out. Buriram United lying in wait. By the end of the day here is Bobby Star R7 to be able to get this booyah. What the heck is happening?
Everybody was putting down blue walls, not to protect themselves, but to deny entry towards this ever-shrinking zone. They tried to zone out the enemy teams, enemy players away from coming inside. in my point of view, I thought that maybe they are setting up for a medkit fight. But the setup by movie star R7 was spot on. They blocked BRU. They blocked Buriram from pushing inside. And at the same time, Buriram was actually doing the same thing, blocking core memory from entering the mid zone. And due to the fact that Rainbow 7 had a clearer view of things besides than Buriram and even core memory, they have the upper hand. They blocked both of those teams. Buriram said, I don't care, let's just rush in. They went in for core memory. R7 is just looking at everything. They have one member position to try to play the mad kick while all the others are trying to eye on Buriram and also core memory. And in the end, it is R7 that came on top.
Yeah, that's right. But for now, we have another 3 more maps to go. And it's getting exciting, so do not go anywhere. We're going for a quick break.
This land is calling.
Breaking news.
Hola gente, soy Hax y le voy a preguntar al Joker, ¿cuál es tu arma favorita?
¿Mi arma favorita?
Sí.
La espada bulla.
Tape. Me pegan de derecha. Tengo que curarme. ¿Curativo alguno tiene para mí? No. Dale, me curo normal.
Están subiendo acá. Cuidado, Oscar.
Cuidado, no tengo super,
Joker, tipo super.
Dale, pásame super.
Ok, Oscar.
Subieron.
Derecha. 100 bajé. Puse 07.
Pana.
¿Quién es solo?
Ahora tienen 100. Dale, cúrate.
Buena.
Well, almost looked like Buriram was going to grab that booyah there, but R7 had other plans. And that was such a crazy booyah, guys. We had a maze of glue walls, 3 teams vying for that booyah. But at the end of the day, R7, they remained calm, composed, brought it all the way back in, and they've now secured themselves a massive chunk of points. Welcome back to the panel, everybody. We're going to break down our game for Kalahari because we have passed the halfway mark, gentlemen.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of excitement has been brought, not only from that final circle, but also before that happened. There's a lot of early engagement, a lot of disappointing endings, especially when you are on a crosshair of a sniper and you're solo.
I mean, it's true, but we are seeing a couple of patterns being very evident in this game. Number one, RRQ, they're definitely out for the Falcons. Like, it's clear that they're making early rotations to intercept them during these fights, but it may be costing them a couple more points. This time round, at least they're walking away with at least 10 eliminations, 17 points, while EVOS Esports, I think, are the big winners. Rasha was having one hot game. He's the kid, man.
Yeah, definitely. The Wonder Kid, the sniper of EVOS Esports, really is bringing it on. 6 points in terms of placement, but in terms of elimination, it was 18. So that is why, despite of R7, Movistar R7 grabbing that booyah, they're very close right now in the match result.
Look, we're seeing some teams really focus on those placement points, right? But sometimes you also got to grab those eliminations. So moving forward, Are we going to be sticking to one particular play style, or do you kind of feel like it's just a case-by-case basis? Because we're so used to seeing tournaments where teams, once there's a bit of a meta established, it kind of carries through to the rest of the maps played throughout the day, but it almost feels like every map played today, it's like someone decides to just change the recipe for the cookbook, and we don't know what's going on.
Well, I guess it's good. I guess it's good that we're seeing a little bit of a shuffle in terms of game style. Some will try to make their way as, I would say, the silent Booyah takers, similar to what we've seen Dragon Esports has done. So that's how they survive, and that is important as well when it comes to Champion Rush. But with this disruption, I guess this is important as well to be countered towards tomorrow, because it's a good thing that it's showing right now. Otherwise, we might, or they might be surprised.
I think at the very least, we should be expecting these next 3 maps, because we saw during the knockout stages that once we get to the latter half of the map rotation, a lot of teams start really changing up their style. I think, as you've mentioned, like changing the secret sauce just a little bit every single time is really throwing a lot of teams and a lot of players off guard as well, right? Because you don't know who's going to intercept you next. And I think that, at least for R7, they started off, hey, we're going to be aggressive, we're going to do what we do. But now, especially for Kalahari, it's interesting to see them not be as aggressive, take a really passive approach from mid to late, which begs the question, what were they saying during those voice comms?
I think there's a lot of questions we could probably ask the players if we were given the chance, but unfortunately that's just, we don't have those privileges, okay? We're just like you guys at home. But Neptune, I want you to sort of look through the numbers at the moment, okay? I think we are getting a bit of an established leaderboard now, right? The results for these next upcoming matches for some teams will still be very big, but for others, it's not so much. Just based off of the numbers, who is falling behind in the competition?
Well, at this point, I mean, Fluxo, I'm sorry, because of several instances that they have been taken out early. Imagine there's no point, only little points from both of the first 2 maps, as well as in that Kalahari map. So it's very difficult to climb up from that. But again, there's not so much of risk because we're only in Point Rush.
Exactly. Now, just a quick reminder to all of our folks at home, right? It's not just Free Fire happening here at EWC 25. We do have other titles going on at the exact same time. And today, it was the grand finals for the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Women's Division. And it was Vitality who ended up being crowned champions this year, beating out Gaming Gladiators in a crazy grand finals matchup. And of course, Vitality, because they won the title, they earned a huge bundle of points for the team, enough to actually push them to the top of the club championship leaderboard, and thus putting some pressure on the Free Fire team to perform as well and to keep them at the top of the leaderboard. But as you can see here, we have another key entered into the podium. So we have another champion here crowned at EWC 25. But look at the girls though. They are so happy, so proud of themselves. And it's because they deserved it. Everything is earned, nothing is given.
Really happy for this team as well, because again they were very hungry to actually win this tournament. So many times they got second place, so now that they're back on top, really happy for Team Vitality.
So congratulations to the girls as they are going to bathe in their glory. And for the next year, of course, they have gloating rights to say, we're the best team in the entire world, because I do think that is a title these girls have earned. So congratulations again to Team Vitality's Women's Mobile Legends Bang Bang team. You guys 100% deserved your victory. Now, back to Free Fire, because we are only halfway through our competition here at Point Rush. We've still got 3 more games to go. We've just finished up Kalahari. Next up is Alpine. What are we expecting from Alpine, folks?
I'm kind of scared because as we are talking about, Fluxo is not doing good, and I know that they have like a fight against the landing spot that they usually like to use during the tournament, and and I don't know if they can be able to get better, during the rest of the day. So I think it's gonna be hard for them to, grow and try to be back in the tops of the ranking. I actually don't know what's going on, but Brazilian teams as well in the last match, they just didn't perform.
I think Fluxo need to stand their ground. I think teams are giving more respect to BRU than they are to Fluxo. If Fluxo can predetermine themselves, hey, this is our drop spot, do not disrespect us again, I think they'll start doing well.
I think it's because in Brazil they usually don't try to get Fluxo landing spots, so maybe they are just not prepared.
Well, we're going to have to see if Fluxo can pick themselves up because time, unfortunately, is running out with only 3 more games to go. But speaking of, we're ready to fly into Alpine. So throwing it over to our wonderful casters, Tashbine and Admats. Take it away.
In my opinion, it's Fluxo's gameplay that needs to change. I think they really need to adapt towards the international style of gameplay. I think they were so used towards the gameplay that have been played in Brazil. That's why we can see maybe a downfall for Fluxo. So ladies and gentlemen, a little bit update on the roster for Team Lost. They subbed out Nando, taking in empty Sexy. Meanwhile for Falcons, they say, okay, Pina, it's enough. You had your time. On Fire is back in.
Yeah. Super excited to see how exactly this will change the trajectory of this game. I mean, Lost, they were very, very explosive throughout this entirety of this week. We saw, I think, some glimpses of it, if you ask me, in a few of these games. But I feel like a lot of teams are already very much ready for it to counter their style of play, to counter this aggression. And I think that these type of styles of play is just something that a lot of teams were, I think, not only are they waiting for it, but they are also welcoming for it as well, because a lot of teams have already some protocols in how exactly to stop these rushes for, especially in towards buildings and areas as well. Now, Movistar, R7 are the teams to watch out for, especially after that win earlier, because honestly, it was so phenomenal how they were able to take that game away.
It looks like there's a lot of noise here from team, I believe that's Dragons and also Lost. We were talking about Lost, and Lost is fighting, and they took down Dragons, I believe. Will they, can we see any Dragons logo? No, they are all eliminated. Base camp cleared by Lost. A very early exit by the MENA teams. We do not even enter the map yet.
I mean,
we did not even enter the map yet, and Dragons is gone.
I mean, what's really exciting about Lost is the fact that, you know, you change that roster and suddenly the speed changes, the aggression changes as well. And I feel like Dragons have been hunted relentlessly by so many teams today. By R7, by Lost as well. It's just so unfortunate for them because they don't seem to have any protocols to stop this style of aggressive play. Now RQ, they're sneaky as heck. Abai finds a big one onto Deya, and quickly Jutz rushes away, but he cannot run because the other members of R7 were very much ready to hunt for him as well. So a 1-for-1 here for RQ, understanding this predicament, says, okay, it's okay, we already got what we wanted, back off.
Yeah, Dudes attempted to try to at least get one from Team Rainbow 7 with the pulse gun that he has, but knowing pulse gun not so marvelous in terms of output damage, so he had to fall back. He opened up the Chronosphere, but sadly Team Rainbow 7 just push on because there's nothing blocking the Chronosphere from entering by the enemy team. Meanwhile, Fluxo, we were commenting that they should improve their game. However, before that, let's see the replay between Dragons and Lost in base camp. One-sided matchup. Dragons could not even match with Team Lost on that first bout in Alpine. So they just got decimated by the Brazilian team. Back towards AGANL. Fluxo, AGAL managed to gain a very advantageous position here in Stadium. Fluxo being smart here, trying to scatter their members throughout Stadium, trying not to gather all of that in one spot. That is to avoid a whole team massacre that can be done by AGAL. And you, as the sniper himself, this elevation is pretty good for him to catch any Fluxo members. But Fluxo does not care. They come in, jump towards Gio. Gio goes down despite getting boots in to turn red. So Gio really needs to find that space and time to get back Butsin, but sadly Butsin cannot be saved. Gio managed to get that point for AGAL. On the other side, Bobs and Chinoy is trying to maybe scuffle, but at the same time Chino is looking at his back as Gio is on top of that roof. Chinoy got a little of chip damage to himself. There you go. Bob's coming in, rush towards Chinoy. He was distracted, and yep, Bob says that, oh, you look behind? It's okay, I come from the front.
Very victory position from Bobs as well. Fluxo, great recovery. I mean, you lose your member fairly early. A lot of teams decide, okay, let's just back off, or maybe try to find a different point of entry. But Fluxo, I have to say, they are the type of team that says, okay, we're down and out, that's fine. Just rush forward, try to catch players off guard, and that's exactly what happened here. We're seeing a lot of fights happening, and Lost this time around with the presence of MT Sexy into this game has really changed their dynamic, changed the momentum, changed their style of play, and I think it looks really good, especially
nice
for the
headshot.
second half of the day here with the Rigby, a great pickup onto Abai, and this should slow RRQ down. This is massive, phenomenal as well. 18 years all alone as well, and I can tell that for Lost, they have already identified where the positionings of where the players of RRQ are, and they're quick to swarm.
With the presence of MT Sexy, we can see a different form of loss. And that was a very nasty one-tap by Rigby, former member of MIBR, currently serving for loss. On another side of the map, near Snowfall, we see the scuffle between Rainbow 7 and Buriram. This is something that you usually would see at Snowfall, as both Rainbow 7 and Buriram made their particular place as their drop spot. Wasana pushes forward with Wasana style by Get High, gets that point kill using the grenade. Joanna waiting in front, but Joanna goes down. Get High, the support that he is, providing the glue wall to survive and try to get back Joanna. Della pushes but fail. Now Joker is falling back. Finally, Buriram won at least a single match against Rainbow 7 in a clear 1v1 brawl, and Joker has to fall back, has to reset, has to be careful as well, because the route that he's treading right now is quite dangerous, because he is moving towards the middle of the zone.
Now silence. We saw a lot of fights happening earlier, especially toward Fusion, where we saw, I think, a big scuffle between Falcons as well as Vitality as well previously. I think Falcons did bring in some revives as well for their teammates. So if anything, it wasn't really a full-on fight, but it was quite nasty here. But RRQ, they're still not out of the red. They're still in trouble. Mal quickly brought back into the game, but not before he gives that one precious point onto Lost as well, who are still rampaging throughout the entire game of Alpine. That nade, disgusting shot onto 18 Gear. He cannot do anything. This guy is just walking into big areas and kills and just completely decimating this entire team here. Abai tries to equalize. He's got one pickup already. Quick to reposition himself forward here. Actually reaches into the chrono. Abai cannot fight back because Lost were ready to just receive RRQ here. Abai as well to fall, and his teammates cannot answer back. And RRQ here, it goes from bad to worse. At least for the time being, they do have one member still left alive. They can try to recover and go back into this game, but the amount of points they have already donated to Lost is just insane.
The smart decision to use the treatment gun on towards falling Rigby was a nice delay time for the other members of Team Lost to execute Abai thinking that, okay, I might get this point, but no, he's back alive and well, and in the end RRQ was reversed, and luckily RRQ still have one remaining member, managed to actually find space to go away, so RRQ still alive. Meanwhile, Falcon and Vitality is at it. Vitality really needs to secure points for their club points here in EWC, manages to take down Peter. Very nice pickup by the Indonesian team. They might want to go and chase Kiroro, but judging how they're moving right now, I believe that is enough. Kiroro on fire managed to actually just go away from Vitality, and meanwhile Vitality might just pick up all the bounty that they had from their fallen Falcons.
You know, this fight from both Vitality and Falcons have been going on for quite some time. It was almost toward the beginning of the game where Falcons just almost got rolled over here. They rallied back, brought their teammates back into the team, went back into this fight again, and now RRQ here looking for a different fight onto AGL here. One member of AGL falls, but they are quickly traded out. Turna falls, quick to get picked up as well. Binoculars will be used. But for the other members of the team here rushing away, do not want to continue this long fight as well. As RRQ here, you start with 1 kill and then suddenly they're realizing this is not going to work out because we've given so much points already to Lost. We cannot do the same to AGL as well.
Yeah, Abai braved himself to go into the middle part of Riyadh, quite an open area just to try and get that big airdrop. As he was doing so, comes by AGAL. The other members of RRQ could not get that time to provide reinforcement towards Abai. That's why Abai has to fight that 1v4 match, but sadly he could only manage to take down one, and that is not even a takedown elimination, it's just a knockdown. And Abai, again for the second time in this game, has to be revived back. Meanwhile, on Rivermouth, R7 making their way to another vicinity, another compound, avoiding shots from Kochil. And Kochil is still on that pulse gun. I'm not so sure whether when will he change here. Maybe he's just a player that is comfortable with that gun, because I've known a few players that is very strong with the pulse gun, despite being one of the weakest gun to be used. And yeah, I'm not so sure whether or not Coach will change that weapon. There you go, the circle update is encompassing the area between Rivermouth and Rai. Quite an open area, a few compounds here and there. What I can say this is that if you are one of the few first teams within the new zone, you will have your place.
EVOS here not as loud as they were in the previous maps. Looking for a different approach here. We saw this sort of approach in the first day here, but R7 looking to reposition themselves, going straight to a core memory instead. Core memory has positioned themselves on the top side of this building here, but as they rotated, actually a member of EVOS did manage to find one as well. Hux falls as well, and now for core memory, they're happy to turn this into a meat grinder, and R7 get overwhelmed. Gameskins falls, Joker as well, and R7, they're running out of members here. Eliminated, cannot hold on, and AGL wondering and seeing whether or not they should join in the fun.
So R7 with a misstep jumped in towards the mouth of Team Core Memories. So R7 11th place, and Buriram is interacting with Lost. This is Thailand versus Brazil. Once grades of Buriram right now not looking very good here within the knockout stage as well as point run stage. Buriram, their only good run was in the previous game. And right now, fighting against Lost, they are trying their best. Asana on the ground, but General paid the price as well. Joanna doing some nice footwork. And there you go, Buriram showing what they got. Eliminating Lost on 10th. And finally, we are seeing the awakening powers of the Thailand representatives.
And this is massive because BRU has been very, very quiet in the past few maps. Bar map number 1, where they were able to hold on to the compound very, very decisively. And now Tuxo, a bit more of a desperate situation, rushing forward, wanting this compound where RRQ is holding on to. But RRQ, they don't want to take this fight, deciding to move away, further away from them for these long-range fights as well. But for Tuxo, they're okay to go for this long-range fights. A lot of pressure put onto the members of RRQ here, but only thing they can manage to do is just some chip damage as well. RRQ, they're undeterred. They're saying, you know what, take that house, take that compound, but we are already closer to the zone, and most importantly, we're not interested in fighting you.
Yes, Fluxo this time around looks good. They are playing well with the timings of the zone. They are not late. They are legitly on time. In contrast, Pain Gaming is going for that risk, entering the zone a little bit late as AGAL is gatekeeping them. Same goes to Falcon, is now being gatekept by EVOS Divine. The returning champions is now sort of like having cold feet here, as they are not playing as they usually do. Limit is still yet to be revived back. It looks like Peter Kiroro and On Fire playing a safe gameplay right here, avoiding interactions between EVOS, avoiding all other enemy members by rotating, deterring towards the northern side of the zone. Meanwhile, RRQ has to hold off their position against Buriram. And Buriram, being on a higher angle elevation, is not worried by any shots coming by Team RRQ.
Falcons in a very desperate situation, but they do still manage to get themselves into the zone here. And Core Memory is still at top side of this compound, and Evos tries to challenge. At the same time, Russia, great opening onto Kyong. Finds him, knocks him down here, but Riyadh United also in trouble, getting completely overwhelmed here. RRQ, fairly quiet, fairly not able to go into the game early. This time around, completely just collapsed onto Riyadh United, and just wiped them down. Riyadh United were not ready at all to receive this team. The way they aggress is just so phenomenal, and Evos looking to do the same here. As Core Memory, their glue walls fall. Not a lot of space to work with. The only thing they have right now is the movement inside of this shack. But Core Memory keeping them out. Finds a way to go outside on a more even footing outside in the open right now. Ray falls. The first point of contact cannot hold on. Kochil and Ray knocked out already. Core Memory knew exactly what they were doing when they decided to aggress outside of the zone. And suddenly, the other two members of the White Tigers running for their lives, finding a way to bring their teammates back into the game. But I don't think they can here because Aim God as well will be found. Cougar does get knocked down here, but in this situation, what can you do? Evos happy to let go of everything, cutting their losses and trying to bring themselves back into this game.
Luxor managed to eliminate Vitality. At the same time, we were watching Buriram being knocked out by RRQ. Falcon not looking so good. Peter is the only one on the ground, finally has been eliminated. RRQ have been mopped on 5th place. We are left with 4. This is 4 teams that is currently on the end side of the match. It's Core Memory, Fluxor, Falcons, as well as Evolve Divine. Core Memory playing wide right in the open, trying to execute on towards Team Falcon. Kugura in front, finding some of his former teammates, and Falcon has been de-winged by Team Core Memory. Falcons on 4th place. Save goes to Evolve Divine. Now on turn. It's going to be Fluxor versus Core Memory. Both black and white teams are at it right now on Alpine. But looks like it might be a Fluxor win. And there you go. It is it. After so many struggles on so many maps, Fluxor gets a booyah in EWC 2025.
And this is phenomenal because Fluxor is one of the most decorated teams here. One of the favorites to make it to the top. They haven't been able to show their shine for this entirety of this week. And now they took their time, build a back foot when it comes to rotations, when it comes to fights. But they knew when exactly to aggress. They did not want to have those early fights at all. And they waited for the last possible moments to bear their fangs. Fluxor, they bring their flag up and they stand tall.
Finally, they could see themselves on the big screen right here at Qiddiya Arena, Qiddiya Stadium here in Boulevard, Rose City, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Everybody, a lot of spectators doubted Fluxor on how they had terrible games during the group stage. Quite a cold start as well today on the point rush stage. And in that match in Alpine, I could see that they finally managed to find that timing on towards the zones. Usually you will see Fluxor entering very late, but this time around they entered very nicely.
Anyways, we have Carol waiting in the wings with the player. Let's see what he has to say.
Amazing match that we just have watched, and so far it's everything perfect here. We are in the preparation for the grand finals tomorrow, but still there's a lot more to come in the point rush stage. Right now I'm happy to be here with Joker, the player for Movie Star R7. Thank you so much for your time. I know things here are crazy, but I gotta say that you're having a beautiful performance here today, especially in match 3. You sacrificed so much during so much glue walls during their fight, and a lot of pressure for sure. And I would like to know what was going on in your mind.
En el juego número 3 fue un momento de mucha presión, se estuvieron sacrificando muro tras muro tras muro, y quieren saber cómo estaba tu mente en ese momento, qué pensabas en ese momento de tensión.
Nada, en ese momento de tensión creo que estábamos todos comunicando lo más que podíamos en la partida sobre los recursos que teníamos, sobre lo que veíamos. Tratamos de imaginar qué iba a hacer cada equipo para ir rotando en base a eso, y nada, jugamos en eso, imaginando lo que iba a pasar en la partida.
In those tense moments, we were mostly communicating everything we got, the resources we had, what we know about the other teams, what other teams could be doing, what are we going to do, and we were just zoning into winning that game.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I love that answer for sure. And right now, one thing is true, that you guys are one of the top teams of our leaderboard. And for a long time, we haven't seen like a LATAM team doing that stuff. And you guys are doing amazing. And I would like to know, how does it feel to finally to prove that you guys are capable to play against the best of the best?
En estos momentos ustedes son uno de los equipos que están en el tope del leaderboard y ningún equipo sudamericano, latino ha hecho esto anteriormente. Cuéntanos cómo se siente o qué significa para ti el poder al fin demostrar que ustedes pueden jugar en contra de los mejores del mundo.
Creo que nada, nos sentimos muy felices. También hasta el momento no ha acabado nada, toca seguir trabajando y nada, venimos con la mentalidad de que podemos ser campeones, venimos en base a eso. En cualquier momento los que hemos jugado sabemos que tenemos el nivel en la región de poder salir campeones y queremos eso, salir campeones.
We are very happy, but nothing has ended yet. We are still continuing to the grind. We're still continuing with the mentality that we can win this. We know that we have a huge level in our region, and we are able to win this. So we are just continuing to zone in and go for everything.
What a confidence. I love that, Joker. Congratulations. You guys are doing amazing. Thanks so much for your time for interview. I'm going to let you prepare for the next match. And right now, I'm talking to you. So we're going to go for a quick break, but I hope you stay with your eyes very open because we're going to be right back.
Double kill. Triple kill. Unstoppable.
ก็จะปรับการเล่นให้เข้ากับทีมมากครับไม่ได้อยากเล่นให้ตัวเองโดดเด่นครับแค่ทีมได้แชมป์ก็ดีใจมากเลยก็ปีนี้เพิ่มผมมาในรับก็อยากได้แชมป์อีกรอบหนึ่งครับรักษาแชมป์ตำแหน่งผมจะเป็นตำแหน่งสไนเปอร์ครับตำแหน่งที่โคบอยู่หลังที่สุดและก็เป็นตำแหน่งที่สำคัญที่สุดด้วย
This is amazing. You cannot catch the man. In fact, he just wiped out a whole squad alone.
เป็นแชมป์อีกรอบหนึ่งครับในวันใจของผมก็คือน่าจะการที่ยังไม่เคยได้แชมป์โลกครับแต่ก็เคยได้แชมป์ทุกอย่างมาแล้วเหลือแค่แชมป์โลกแชมป์เดียวครับที่ผมยังไม่เคยได้ก็เลยอยากได้แชมป์นี้มากๆครับผมแค่อยากจะทำให้แรปนี้เป็นแรปที่ดีที่สุดแล้วก็สร้างประวัติศาสตร์ของผมเพิ่มมาอีกก็คือแชมป์ผมจะทำให้ได้แชมป์อีกรอบ
Hey everyone, I'm Yensel and I'm right here at the Boulevard and where I am is the play park. Everything in here looks so futuristic. It looks brand new to me and today I'm going to try out a new game which I've never been to. So let's watch me play. While I'm playing it's gonna look kind of funny, so please forgive me.
ระเบิดมือพวกเราอยู่ในสนามซ้อมนานเกินไปแล้ว
volta ainda, MT, gosta de sentir uma depois. Pode suporte do lado esquerdo, MT. Vem cá, vamos atirar a tropa, tem que tirar o lado esquerdo. Pode tirar o lado esquerdo, forte 2x1. Seja ele pro lado direito, são mais nós, tá? No chão. Joguei bomba nele. Dois caras aí. Tá quebrando. Só quebra. Não tem gelo. Conta aqui. 50 nenhum, Gil. Um lineado, tem outro. Tem outro. Só aqui, beleza. Então só aí, Butch. Eu tenho o que ainda, Butch. Pode ir, irmão.
Aí, é só nós jogar. Olha que nós volta pra... Bora.
Is the beast awakening? Fluxo secure their first booyah of the day on Alpine, and I know the wonderful Raja on the panel. She was so excited. But it's not just Raja. I think we've all been kind of wondering what has happened to Fluxo coming into Point Rush. They looked a little bit slow, and in their previous matches the past 3 days, they didn't look so great either. But Raja, break it down for us. What was it that Fluxo did in this game that actually brought them that victory?
Well, first of all, they are so back. I love to see them playing in that way, and I'm so happy for them. And I think what's just happening, it's because they are playing like a little bit slow, and maybe because of the landing spots. So if you could, I mean, watch again the last match, you can see that they just are like free to play. You know. There's any other teams with them, so maybe they can be like maybe they can, you know, do the right rotation, and they can be as strong as they normally are, you know. So that's what we are waiting for them, and they need to keep the rhythm for the next match. So maybe they can, you know, grow inside of the ranking and try to catch, you know, the top 5, maybe, because they are in the bottom.
Definitely. I mean, Team Fluxo, they really need that breathing space. They really need that reset button. And I guess that is true. Like dropping without any contention at all, you were able to get all your loots and then fix all your rotation. So I guess that's what Fluxo is doing right now. And I guess other teams as well that would give them those points.
I think at least for this particular map, we're seeing that after looking at the scoreboard and see the total number of points that a majority of the page 1 teams had, I think that everybody is kind of, you know, poured a little bit more gasoline into the engine. They really start to amp things up. They're really escalating things more often as we see the transitions happen. They're very aggressive with the way that they play, and more so, we're seeing that teams are able to recover just a little bit better. But that also improves the amount of elimination points in the economy itself, right? One person is able to escape, they bring back the whole team, rinse and repeat. And if that happens to 4 other teams, that's why we're seeing the top 2 having at least 20 points.
Yeah, I think Fluxo ended the round with 15 eliminations. And then you add the booyah points on top of that, and then, I mean, they're feeling pretty dang good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 27 points coming from Fluxo, but there's one thing surprising, and they haven't slowed down. Core Memory XKOG. I mean, we saw them, yes, they were second place, but they also grabbed 12 points in elimination. So they're very, very close right now, and I guess they're still maintaining the top.
I think their secret to success really boils down to, can they make a hard prediction on that 4th ring? Every single time we've seen them make it into the top 2, top 3 is when they have a good rotation in, and also get a little lucky on that 50-50 when it comes down to that 4th ring. From that point onwards, we see them really start to snowball out of control.
Now, we do have the overall rankings here, so we can really see who is snowballing out of control. And, well, it still seems we have the White Tigers leading the pack. So, I mean, it was a good round for EVOS as well in that previous round. It was just they kind of got unlucky with their placement in one of those last few circles, because they didn't have any cover. They were basically banking on being able to take someone else's spot, and that kind of didn't happen. But for the rest of the rankings, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose, aside from Fluxo starting to make that climb, especially after that booyah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for R7, they were in a good roll right now, but the lead is coming away from them. And like 8 points in difference against a Core Memory XKOG. And then after that, RRQ as well is quite far. So I guess for the first 2 teams, they are in a safe spot right now, unless Core Memory, or rather R7, will try what they did for the first round again.
I think it's working out well for them, right? You know, hot drop somebody if necessary, and then look to make it into top 3 afterwards. Their aggressive playstyle and high elimination counts by the end of the game is really starting to, you know, pave the way, a strong foundation coming into our last 2 maps.
Now, it looks like we do have a very quick STC Club Championship update. Yunsol, what is new for the Club Championships?
It's Yunso, and we are live at Amazon Esports Arena at EWC 25. In semi-finals, Team Spirit defeated P-Vision with 2-0, and the match between Team Falcons and the Tundra Esports also ended with the same result. The match for the third place also ended with a score 2-0, and the P-Vision team won the duel against Tundra team. And now, in the grand final, Team Spirit is fiercely battling Team Falcons. The hype is real, and Team Falcons fans are making Team Spirit's competition much hotter. Tonight, who will become the champion of Dota 2 at EWC 25? Let's find it out!
Thank you so much for the update, Yunsul, and Team Falcons fighting strong in Dota 2, it seems. And obviously, their Free Fire team's going to want to knock it up a notch as well, because those points, they're all up for grabs.
It's just showing how close the club championships are really starting to amp up here. It's only week 2 of EWC, so it's pretty surprising that not any one of these teams have like really soared past each other just yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we saw the Club Championship, the scores that they have, there's still a lot of ties in there, and there's a lot of potential to really overtake and grab that number 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge of the teams with us. It looks like we are ready to jump into our next matchup. But before that, though, we're going to head on over to our 2 favorite men, Husky and AJ. Take it away.
You're back at the Kidia Esports Arena with your boys Mustachio and Husky. Game 4 is done. 2 more matches to go. And my, oh my, Husky, I think the fans are getting heated up.
The fans definitely are. Of course, for those who don't know where we are right in deep in the Falcons' nest. So of course, we have to address the current reigning world champions. Team Falcons, where you at? Hang on.
All right.
With the Falcons. Okay.
It looks like the Falcons are a tad bit low on energy. Maybe it's because it's Indonesia at the top. Indonesia, make some noise!
Yes.
Yeah, they've got some life in them.
Yeah, finally, the Indonesians are stepping it up. And we're seeing the Indonesian teams do that. RRQ, EVOS, Vitality need to step up a little bit, but I know the Vitality fans are up there cheering every step of the way.
Yeah, but you know who's the noisiest ones of them all? It's always the Brazilians. Brazil, can we hear you? Make some noise! All right, we got Carol. We'll take that.
Yeah, we got Carol. Carol represents the entirety of Brazil. We got Raja on the panel as well. I mean, at the end of the day, at the EWC 25, nothing is granted, everything is earned.
Well, 2 more matches. Fluxo just took the previous one. Let's see exactly who grabs it for the top spot here at Point Rush. Casters, on to you.
As we're slowly edging the end of our Point Rush stage, the fire just gotten bigger and bigger. We had an incredible run by Fluxo back in Alpine. Now coming into Nextera, this is a map where we usually see the Thai teams take the Booyah title. However, for me, I still yet to see the emergence of Vitality and RRQ to come on top among all of these teams that is in the Point Rush stage.
I mean, personally for me, Vitality took a while to really heat up even in this week. So I wouldn't be surprised if toward the end of the day is the moment where they really wake up, because there have been some very devastating moments that they were able to dish out toward the end of the day here. But anyways, Point Rush stage here, between EVOS, Esports, as well as Movistar are 7 here, 63-54 in terms of pointers, and eliminations are so very close. But the ones on top, honestly to me, EVOS, Divine, and Core Memory are some of the teams I'm looking out for right now. Only 1 point shy of each other. EVOS, Divine, as well as Core Memory has been really scary. Core Memory not the flashiest compared to EVOS Divine, but they sure know how to wrap up a game.
Alright, from Grave Labs up until between Twin Bridge and also Mortar Ruins. That was the flight path for Nextera. Looking on the overall map, nothing much can be said here, as most of the teams are far apart. Except for Lost and EVOS, they are sharing Zipway, and it looks like the sharing moment is going to be over soon, as shots fired by EVOS Divine towards Team Lost. There is one lone member from Team Falcons nearby, but that is just one single spy that is trying to get maybe some cheeky kills in this couple. So EVOS running into cover, Lost is still outside, Rasha deep inside Zipway. And it looks like Falcon has made their way as well. So 3 teams right now in Zipway. 4 upcoming as Dragon is making their way to the same area. Cold Shield outside almost be taken down, and Dragons falling back after finding out, hey, with their shots inside here, not a safe place to be. So smart decision by Dragons. They could fall back or they could just stay to try to go for a third party. And yep, it looks like they are slowly falling back, spotting Vitality in the process. CMOX takes down Azrael, and that might be the first elimination. Nope, it looks like Azrael managed to find cover, but Remind is on the floor. It's Vitality that takes down a member from Team Dragons, and that is the early game of Nextera.
So a lot of things going on here. Teams are just not relenting right now. A lot of pressure put in just for that one particular spot. I love the fact that Vitality did wake up. Vitality started to get a bit more active, moving around, joining in these fights to just slowly mount their comeback back into this game. I think throughout the entirety of the day, we haven't really seen Vitality be the hunters. We haven't seen Vitality make some noise, and I want to see this change, especially from players such as Koja and Dix, who are great at that first contact style play. In a lot of situations, Vitality have been the victims that get caught in the midst of rotations. But this time they said, nah, not this time. We're going to get a little bit more proactive and take up this fight. They did manage to get a peek up to one member of Falcons, but Falcons don't really want to play at all. And Vitality decides not to push the issue. It's still very, very early. They can still go hunting elsewhere.
Falling back to their previous compound, Vitality is going for the more safer route of gameplay. And they kept moving actually. I believe they are heading towards Plazaria, or is it Farmtopia? It's Farmtopia. So they're gonna try to maybe conquer Farmtopia, but at Farmtopia there's also core memories. Okay, making their way slowly on their right side. That is Team Dragon. They are interacting with the MENA team yet again. Remind has come back. It's still the early stages of the game, so Remind could still find resources scattered around Nextera. And it looks like CMOX is holding Team Vitality together with CFOX. Vitality is choosing to use the mini jump pad to fly over towards a longer range distance between them, and also Dragon, but sadly CMOX and also his team member Remind managed to caught them off guard. 2 members of Vitality is on the hands of Team Dragon Esports.
And these points are much needed from DRG right now. They are currently on that last spot with only 22 points. Could this be the mount for them right now as they overcome AGAL now with 2 extra points, putting them 1 point ahead of DRG? I would love to see them just keep going in terms of aggression. They weren't very lucky when it comes to a lot of fights. They weren't very lucky when it comes to rotations. And most importantly, they were hunted throughout the entirety of today as well. I want to see a change in pace where DRG surprised all of us in the entirety of this week, because out of nowhere, they were able to overcome so many different teams.
Rainbow 7 playing the high elevated gameplay against Team EVOS. The only counter is easy. Be under them. That's all. But EVOS really wants to fight Rainbow 7. Taking a toll on towards 2 members of Team EVOS Divine. A misstep by them. They didn't time themselves well with Rainbow 7 looking at them down below. So it's only left with Ray and AimGuard. And R7 is still on top of that, I could say a train tracks. More like a highway for trains, I guess. So they're going to stay up there. Ray is pushing forward. AimGuard will stay in Rustown. Maybe just be like a counter for Team R7, just in case if R7 move. So AimGuard facing 1v1. A little bit hard here with the time turner, and there you go, 1 punch. AimGuard takes 1, but sadly the pickup has come just in time. Despite losing there, R7 looks strong for elimination kills.
Yeah, their positionings have been huge. I mean, it looked as though they were in trouble earlier, but they have been able to recover. They've been managing to get all these stragglers all around the map. They don't really have to full commit as well in this situation. And currently, they are hot. They love going for these fights. They're not allowing this isolated 1v1s. And even if there was an isolated 1v1, the reaction time coming from his teammates to trade out immediately, not allowing for the perpetrator to get away safely, is just phenomenal. phenomenal. Vitality this time around finds Dudes, but his teammates are rallying, chasing away here. Dix understanding his predicament, trying to put himself away from the other members of the team. Great pickup here for the glue wall, but Dix not fast enough as RQ. Look at it, choke him from the other end.
Trying to go for an attempt of a 1v3. Dudes managed to get one, but sadly could not get the other. I'm sorry, not Dudes. A member from Vitality almost gets all three, but sadly it was a 2v1 ordeal for him. So Koja, I believe, is making his way towards boxing gym, trying to save life for Team Vitality. Azrael as well on the southern part of the map. So for RRQ, I am in a bit of a doubt whether or not this lineup is actually stronger or whether Kiba's lineup is stronger, because in my opinion, I almost see no difference here. Maybe the style of play of 18 year is what they wanted here in Point Rush. Maybe 18 year is slightly aggressive than Kiba, but the results are not really showing. Maybe just a little bit, but not so much. As Mal is making his way to Deka Square, caught Azrael in his route, running quite low, has to dash towards the back. Azrael inside the house, could find time for a med kit or two, but no, he knows he has no med kit to do so, so Azrael goes down. Another point goes to RRQ.
Great pre-fire as well. You know that RQ spots one member out, you have the long-range hit, and immediately two members rush up forward to collapse. We'd love to see what's happening on the other side of the map here, as Lost did find two members of the White Tigers on the other end. But bringing our attention back to RQ, Pain is here as well. Bit of chip damage onto Mal. We see a bit damage onto Abai as well, but it doesn't deter him for playing a little bit more aggressive. I think that he does want to try and get a bit more closer to Pain Gaming. But meanwhile, on this side of the map, we have for Falcons on the top side of this building, and this could be massive. If they could find a nice angle to core memory, this could spell Pain for them as well. And speaking of Pain here, Pain finally getting that first pick up onto Abai, finds him as well. Motovea doing God's work, if you ask me, because even 18 Deer following into his footsteps.
Okay, flying away, Dudes is open to get shot, but only a few connected by Pain Gaming, so RRQ safe. Exited Deka Square, leaving Pain Gaming all alone over there. On the other side of the map, near Farmtopia, in between Farmtopia and Plazaria, actually, it's AGAL and Vitality fighting off between two compounds. A few shots were made to show presence, but there is no aggressive execution by both teams. Well, a fumble there by Kyong, throwing a grenade inside the house, meant to be thrown towards the opposite side, but maybe a little bit off angle, I could say. There you go, a large airdrop nearby for both teams to fight for. And in Farmtopia, you can see some lasers coming up from Team Falcons, possibly shooting towards both Team EVOS, Divine, and as well as Core Memory. Dudes and Mal slowly making their way towards the new zone. It looks like Mal might be a bit safer to be inside. Dudes has to walk a little bit longer. For Dragons, maybe they might meet with Buriram, and for Pain Gaming, they might be the third leg in between Vitality and AGAL.
I would love for Boulevard United Esports to get a bit more aggressive, kind of catch DRG off guard here, as much as I'm rallying for this team to really catch up as well. But a little bit more aggression could be huge, but it's Dragons that bring in that aggression on towards this team. Fluxo now in trouble, all alone here. Was not expecting the speed coming in from DRG. Yasser is the one to fall, in fact, as Prox will be the one to open it up. Bunsin falls, Prox as well. DRG, they know how to collapse. But for Fluxo, they're very much still in the game, as the only member that has been eliminated is still just Bunsin. DRG, on the outside of the compound, don't want to over-aggress. They have no clue where the other members of Fluxo are, and Fluxo decides to take things into their own hands, rushing outside, finding that space, and hoping to find the DRG members a little bit more close. Finds nothing, because DRG decides to just skedaddle out of it. They got their elimination, and they said, let's not push this issue, because we don't know who exactly is close by, who exactly is watching, and most importantly, we do not want to get third-partied.
Finding an area where you could get back your teammates up automatically it's not something Dragon wants to be in. So it's smart enough for Dragons to fall back, avoid conflict for the current time being, because that fight was not in favor of them in the end, as members of Fluxo managed to come back alive from being knocked. So smart move from Dragons, and what I can say from the MENA team is that still they should play safe. We still have yet to see the first team to be eliminated here. It's almost going for the 4th zone here. And for Team Lost, they finally come into camera right here, right beside Team Fluxo. Team Dragons came back as well. Maybe try to get a third-party kill here and there between Lost and also Fluxo.
So keeping fairly quiet right now, understanding Lost is close, DRG as well, which they did encounter for the time being. But over on this side here, R7 now in trouble as Pain completely collapsed onto them as well. The same could be said about Core Memory. They are now in trouble. Bodies hitting the floor from E-Boss, from Pain as well. Everyone is a free-for-all. It's a bloodbath over on this area of the map. Suddenly, it's silence. The players all separated by just blue walls, but the only casualty out of all that is EVOS Divine, and this should slow them down. Core Memory should be very happy about this, because this could be their chance to kind of increase their lead, as Fluxo now in trouble. Lost looking to aggress, finds that one pickup, Box answers back. Frog 7 eliminated already. Fluxo only works with 2 members left. That time turner making it hard for them to aggress forward here, but DRG is joining in. Bob's on the outer end here, still able to watch from the outer side, but Lost a jump shot forward because again, one elimination to themselves. Remind now knocked out. The same could be said about General. It is a bloodbath left, right, and center with Lost with only 1 member standing. Haone, last man standing. He has been the phenomenal game changer for this team, and he must survive.
The triple threat match between Fluxo, Lost, and Dragon. What an amazing match, and they still are at it. Dragon chasing down the last member from Team Fluxo, trying his best, and C4 saving his teammate. Sorry, not Fluxo, but Lost. Eliminating Lost on that play. Fluxo is still alive, by the way. AGAL and BRU interacting with each other. They lost Joanna for Buriram. AGAL now only gets Saifa to be knocked here, but Saifa can still get up on his feet. Same goes to Get High as Mochi provides space. Wasana all alone, trying his best at Get High, and Mochi is on the ground. And Wasana was shot in the back. There you go, Buriram has got AGAL won the fight, and at the same time, Pain Gaming 9th place as well, taken down by another team. Falcons and Team RRQ is at it near Farmtopia.
Oh man, RRQ putting a lot of pressure onto Falcons. It's hard for them because they're out there in the open. The zone also pushing for them as well. But RRQ says, you know what, screw it. Let's just rush up toward them. Let's make it a hunt. Finding the Hawks as well, the Falcons, excuse me, making sure that they don't get too aggressive because AGAL is also close. They take a big chunk of damage here, and RRQ, they're marking both teams. Aggressives forward here, and AGAL want to change the trajectory about of this Saifa peaks, but he falls. Mal was very much ready for him as well, with Bobs also on the other end of that map, wanting to see whether he can steal away an elimination, and he does. Kiroro goes over to the Fluxo players, but RRQ not done quite yet. Pressuring now this time around. R7, anything that moves, anything that walks, they are in trouble because RRQ fights everyone. Joker is bleeding to death. Hugs will be found by eliminate Sifu, but Joker, he rallies. The 18-year falls. DRG cannot hold on. A different aggression coming from this team, but not enough to keep them longer into this game. As AGAL, they rush forward. Desperation is the name of the game here. As RRQ defines them, eliminates them, but they're still not down and out yet. But Fluxo on the other end, third partying, stealing away eliminations and kills. Mal as well, his head blown to smithereens. What can you do against an avalanche?
RRQ disappeared from the map in 5th place. Dragons and the DR path in 6. Is we are left with 4 members. Movie R7 looks healthy, looks strong. In contrast to the other members, AGAL left with 1. Fluxo still with Q and Bobs. Meanwhile, Core Memory only ZS1. Q and Bobs did tremendous work for Fluxo, taking a lot of third-party kills, third-party knocks as team and players are fighting against each other. So R7 now rerouting their rotation inconsequence towards the zone. Gio is trying to climb up. They spotted Dio all alone, but Joker gets that kill. Who will get Dio? It's R7. So AGAL, 4th place. Movie Star R7. Fluxo memories at it. R7 with Fluxo. And Fluxo, bye-bye Fluxo. It is Movie Star. That is the Movie Star. And now Core Memory, Zed and Swan, they are hunting. They smell him. They found him. And they are attacking. And they got him. All 4v1. I don't need weapon. I just need my baseball bat. And with that said, Rainbow 7. Nice booyah. Good gameplay by the Latin American team.
R7, they were picked up fairly early as well, but good recovery plumbing for this team. Phenomenal work, if you ask me. It was very, very messy toward the middle part of that fight because everyone was trying to find a piece of space to work with. Core Memory couldn't hold on. DRG couldn't hold on as much as I would love for them to rally back. But I have to say, DRG looking a little bit more active. But the winner, the booyah out of everything, falling onto Mobistar R7. They have been phenomenal today, if you ask me. Quite, I would say, active. Quite, in terms of playbook, they have so many different pages. They went from the hunters into a team that's deciding, okay, maybe it's time for us to just press the brakes for the time being, hold on instead of going aggressive and only showing their backs toward the end side of that game. Fluxo as well, riding high on the momentum for the last game, and it's looking great for many, many of these teams.
Kudos to Fluxo as well. With just 2 members, they managed to rake in points after points after points, trying to get that Brazilian spirit of Free Fire alive. But sadly, Rainbow 7, they look so strong. The positioning, their rotation, their aim. You could see how Joker takes down Dio on top of that rooftop as Dio was trying to climb up. And very good R7. A surprise team coming in on EWC 2025. They performed quite well on the knockout stage, and they are performing tremendously well, better than they had previously done here on the Point Rush stage. Yet again, this is Booyah for Nextera, belong to Movie Star Rainbow 7.
If I'm not mistaken, this is R7's second booyah today. This is their second booyah today. Kalahari was taken away from them in that very, very incredible fight onto that map. And now they take another one away. This team is just so great when it comes to their strats. They can go aggressive, they can be a bit more passive, and they are a team that thrives onto chaos. Let's see what they can do next as we go into a break first.
Unstoppable!
Não trava, por favor. Não pode travar, não pode travar. Não pode travar, não pode travar.
Nossa, vocês são muito estranhos. Mas se for trazer o buia, tudo bem.
Derecha. Punto derecha acá. Buena, buena. Queda uno. Sartén, uno. Dale, déjame poner un fracaso.
Un 100 y listo.
Sí, un fracaso mío y listo.
Dale.
Que no se mate,
Acá. Dale 100.
Dale.
¿Tiró un curativo? Dale. Dale, le fallé.
¡Ya! ¡Buena! Buena,
R7 run down the competition in our final circle and secure a booyah on Nextera. But oh my goodness, these games are insane. We are not seeing the traditional meta that we see in our typical regions, right? Typical regions, the games are pretty quick, or at least we have a standard for how quickly teams get eliminated. But that Nextera, guys, it was like a battle of endurance to see who could last the longest and how long you could delay the first team elimination. Gideon, I know we were talking about this in the green room. That game was astronomically slow.
Yeah, everybody was looking to just outlive each other for as long as possible. But then when you look at the points at the very end, first pagers are already hitting double digits. But most importantly, RQ and as well as Movistar R7 are coming up with some huge points this time, especially for R7. I think they've figured something out. I'm not 100% sure what it is because we're seeing teams like Core Memory not being able to follow their recipe. Dragon Esports, huge shout outs to them, surviving despite getting consistently headhunted throughout the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not just for that game, but all throughout the day, they have been targeted not by other teams, but it is the leaders that we are seeing. That's Movistar R7. 2 maps, if not 3, they had hot drop Dragon Esports, but at least this is a good chance as well for Dragon Esports to really fight back if they can recover, find a way to find like a more of a durability as well as survivability gameplay, not only in the game style but also in active skill. They might be doing better tomorrow.
I think we also have to give a shout out to Fluxo. Fluxo also coming in pretty clutch in that round. They came in 3rd, looking really strong.
Dominating.
So, I mean, they're slowly waking up, Raja. I mean, Fluxo.
I think they are kind of recovering. You know, I think they maybe can be able to do a good game in the next match also. But I mean, it's good to mention about the Movistar R7 because it's the first time that we are seeing like such a good team from Latam. So it's kind of something that, I mean, we are building a different history, you know? So it's good to see. I'm really happy for them, but also for Fluxo too. And well, let's see what will happen in the next match, because I think Dragons maybe try to get the landing spot from Fluxo. I'm not really sure if they will be able to do it today, but I know that they were trying yesterday and also, no, not yesterday, but during the knockout stage.
Yeah. I mean, we've got Solara coming up next, so we don't know what's in this bag, do we? All right, so as we do get ready for our final map of the day, just a quick checkup on the overall rankings for the status of Point Rush, because the whole point of today, pun definitely intended, is to rank as high as possible because you want your head start points going into Champion Rush tomorrow. And I mean, Gideon, have a look up top. R7, who would have suspected?
Yeah, if you're not getting a lot of eliminations, you're looking for those placement points. And R7, Movistar R7 really have found the balance here coming into this point rush. Same can be said about Core Memory X KOG, but I think, we start looking at the other teams who had a really great start at the beginning of today. Falcons, Pain Gaming, Lost as well. And then we look at some familiar faces, obviously favorites, not doing too well. Team Vitality now pushed down to 12. Bit of a bummer, but I'm more worried for Buriram United Esports here because, again, it really feels like they have no gas in the tank left. Something is clearly not going in their way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after doing so well a little bit too well in the first map, and then failing, and then getting second place in Kalahari, and then failing again. Nextera, another, I would say, not so big a game for Buriram United. So I guess there's a lot of chances that could have been taken, but I guess it's a pressure as well of those more hungrier teams that we are seeing all throughout.
All right, so we're going to do the SMB head-to-head on the panel today. So how this is going to work is we are going to pick our top 2 teams that could potentially end the day at the top of the leaderboard. Who are we nominating for our SMB head-to-head before we go into Solara?
I'm gonna say Core Memory x KOG. I like the stability that they're coming in, right? They're always making it within top 5, top 4, and I think obviously Nexera might just be a little bit of an exception this time round. But coming into Solara, I feel like this is the break point for a majority of these teams. If they can get a high elimination game, the placement points might be a little difficult this time around, but knowing how Core Memory plays, this might actually be suitable for them, knowing that everybody else is a little more desperate for the points.
So who's going to be the partner for Core Memory?
It's tough though, because when I'm looking at Solara, the result that we have, I'm seeing Falcons, Loss, Vitality, and Pain. And now...
That's not a head-to-head. That's like
no.
a limb-to-limb.
But the thing is, I'm looking at the current standings, and none of them are at the top. So I guess I have to, like...
Join the bandwagon.
Join the bandwagon. I'm going to go for Movistar R7. What?
What?
Dare you? How dare you bait me like that? You know, you guys don't even see the shock on my face.
My goodness, Raja, do you agree with the head-to-head?
Yeah, you just steal my opinion. So yeah,
You're
basically,
panelists. There's no
Movistar
stealing.
R7.
They're sharing. There's no stealing.
Yeah.
1v2 though. Sorry, bro.
We win.
Just cheat it, man. Come on, man.
Unless
SEA supremacy, man.
Unless you clutch this.
Look, anything can happen, right? It's Solara. So even though we've named 2 teams that have been performing fantastically today, we could be surprised by a completely new Booyah. So knowing what we do know about Solara, okay, are we going to continue with this tremendously slow pace that has been plaguing all of our matches today in Free Fire? Because looking at the map, Neptune, I'm looking at you because I think you might share an opinion with me. Is it possible to even have a slow play style when there are slide rails?
Yes, definitely. I mean, slow playstyle means that you don't have to go for an engagement. Doesn't mean that you have to move slow, otherwise you will be hit so many times, similar to what we've seen other teams has been. But yeah, you can always move away from engagement because of a slide rail, so it makes it quicker for you to pull away, to exit any possible engagement.
But what if they end up being trapped, Gideon? What if people are waiting on the other end of the slide rails?
That's what I am saying. I think that Solara is one of those maps that teams really have to be pretty precautious about everything that's going on. You really have to keep your eyes on the feed to make sure that these eliminations that are coming through is also aligning with the information that you have about the initial drop spots. I think that's the biggest problem right now, because every single team who looked to early contest, these areas are very, very large. It is not a quick fight. It's never a quick fight.
Drop spots. Neptune, I know you have a cheat sheet on this. I want to hear from you. What has been the most highly contested drop spot in Solara, and who currently drops there?
Well, I would say in Solara, one thing that the teams have been taking so much is windmill. I mean, at that part, not only is it on the edge, but it also have 2 connecting slide rails that can go to Saddle Club as well as to Delta Isle. Or you can also go in a little bit in the middle into Funfair. So it's either you drop into windmill, or if you drop somewhere near those other stations that I mentioned, you can slide into windmill, and that's where the engagement starts before the drop-off.
So would it be safe to say that everyone's going to maybe avoid windmill like the plague?
I sure hope
that's
so.
where the party is. I mean, it just makes sense, right? If you know where the party is and you don't want to go to the party, you go in the opposite direction.
Or you could start looking for the in-between stations, right? You're looking for like smaller objectives and then quickly go onto those and then head on over into the big POIs.
All right, thank you so much to my beautiful analysts. It looks like we're ready to jump into or fly into Solara. Throwing over to our wonderful classes right now. Tash Bunny and Admaths, take it away.
Thank you very much, Danielle. I'm going to be looking out to what Neptune said about windmill. Regardless of everything, this is the last stand as we go into tomorrow with the head start points. Those 10 points are going to be huge for a team that's is going to be able to get away with it. Right now in the lead is Movistar R7 with 83 points, 48 eliminations, a nice balance of aggression as well as placement points as well. Stable as heck, as what the panel said. But the Seikobe said about core memory. Look at that. With 36k, almost 37k total damage, you have to watch out for these teams. They like to hunt, they like to aggress, and they are definitely proactive.
All right, let's see whether or not the pacing of Nextera is carried on towards Solara as we are about to start and execute game number 6. It's from southern side of Casa Vista up until the compound in between Waterfall and Riders Club, and it looks like the circle is favoring the northern side of Solara. Those in Windmill are in a clear. Meanwhile, those in Delta Isle, RRQ and Falcon, have to fight against each other as they are fighting over their drop spot. RRQ had an amazing run in Nextera in contrast to Falcons, so maybe this time around Falcons might want to do something. On the kill field, you could see that Buriram and R7 fight off against each other. The Kings has fallen as Buriram United Esports defeated Movie Star Rainbow 7. Rainbow 7 at 12th place. Falcons takes down members of RRQ. But it looks like Dia and Abai is trying to take revenge. Nice touchdown by RR18 here, but now it's only Abai all alone for RRQ. On fire, standing tall, fight against Abai, and that is the match in Delta R. Next the guild card denied by the returning champions, Falcons.
But the aggression is still going on here as Evo's now in trouble. Core Memory looking to deny them from being able to go for the hunt. Core Memory taking a double kill quickly onto Evo's Divine, but Evo's Divine still has one member still left alive. So for now, quick bring back onto the game. My question is whether or not they still want to push the issue and try and retake this fight. Not happening, I don't think so. But going back to the fight against RRQ and the Falcons, they had dropped into the area together with each other. That fight could have gone either way because it was just down to the wire that last 1v1. These two teams are incredibly close, incredibly strong, and I have to say, a lot of teams are starting to aggress to the last end of the day here. And for RRQ, an early night for them and a heartbreaker if you ask me, because their progress has been halted.
Yeah, that was an attempt by Abai. He was close, but the shot misses by an inch. So that was a very magnificent gameplay done by Team Falcon and also by RRQ despite losing towards their opponent. On the other spectrum, you could see a very devastating loss for Rainbow 7 as Buriram United Esports decimated them in their own drop spot. Meanwhile, we're looking right now on AGAL. They are making way towards, where is that? Casa Vista. But at the same time, Team Fluxo has also the same idea. There you go. Airdrop brought to you by STC. It's near to Barros. I believe Barros has picked the items inside earlier. And Barros hearing footsteps from Team Fluxo, awaiting whether or not will they bypass Barros. Smart play, such discipline and patience from that AGAL member. However, on the other side of the map is Sloth and Dragon Esports.
The Dragon Esports this time wants to aggressively knock down already, and DRG has the advantage here in terms of the body. Take a bit more aggressive, passes by each other on the outer end. And I think there's a lot more hesitation for DRG because they don't want to just over-aggress and get pulled into the meat grinder with C-Mox in the opening part. Finds quickly the head of General. Reminds somehow taken away on the outer end here by Vitality here, but the rest of DRG is still aggressive. Breaks down the glue walls, finds the final member of Vitality looking to join in the fight as well here. DRG barely able to recover, and they pay the price as Koja, the tip of the spear, opens up 2 of these kills, and Vitality completely overcomes, and DRG another early end to the game, but the same could be said of Vitality here as well, as the Falcons look to swoop down and bring hell upon them. But they are still hunkered down. They have access to the arsenal as well, could buy a bit more space and time. Quick trades from both these teams here. Keroro knocked down already. Vitality quick to take him out of the game, and now here comes the hesitation from the other 2 members of Falcons.
Falcons are falling back. They wanted to try and get a third party set in that arsenal, but sadly, Vitality was prepared to receive that third party. Peter was found behind the rock. Another point towards Vitality. Despite being in last place currently in the overall standing of the point rush stage, they are still in their own roaring spirit to still perform in a Solara. So Vitality is now on fire. However, AGAL is in the goal as they lost Chinoy towards Pain Gaming and Dew running away with the car, trying to prolong that logo of AGAL in Solara.
honestly, I am quite surprised at Vitality's performance. Granted, they start the game here at last place, and they brought the heat, they brought the fire. They realized that it's not over till it is over here. As EVOS on the back foot, they don't have advantage in terms of terrain, but they want to change that. As Pain forced to play a little bit more back, Nuda doesn't not want to relent, and he eats a lot of damage. Looks to reposition, a jump peek forward, finds nothing quite yet. And they are waiting. The only thing, everything in the kitchen thrown to the table. Nuda, first one to fall. Aim got, looking to rush forward here. They move in tandem. Peter eating a lot of damage. Rushes up forward. More damage done as well, as every single one of members of EVOS Divine looks to rush forward. But for Pain Gaming, not able to stop this onslaught. They are running for their lives. They do answer back with their own utility, their own needs here, but it does not stop the aggression coming in from EVOS Divine. Ray is close, so is Aim got first to play that tip of the spear play. They rush up, but still not able to chase at all. You want to hunt, but you cannot find them. Gus close by, Free Fire's about this 1v1. Jump forward here, but they were very, very much ready. Gus steals away a point, but Ray looks to step up to the plate and try to do what his teammate can, but stopped by the blue walls here. It's just a game of bring around the Rosie, trade it all around here, but Russia at the very least does find Peter.
TV Tower has a lot of noise in it as Pain Gaming is still yet to settle their fight with EVOS Divine. Gus goes down as well. We are now left with Noda. It looks like empty, Sexy subbed out again. Noda comes in. But sadly, Pain Gaming could not survive the clutches of the White Tiger. So EVOS Divine won that fight. TV Tower is theirs. And looking at the update of the next zone, it's going towards northern side again for the second time. It's going to be Riders Club and Fun Fest, a little bit of Waterfall, and teams on the south such as AGAL and Peter has a lot of ground to cover in order to enter the new zone. Meanwhile, Brookstone still around Delta R. Peter was found by Sapphire by AGAL. Sadly, Peter could not prolong himself in, so Lara giving 1 point, their first point to AGAL.
Honestly, I like where Lost has positioned themselves over onto Riders Club here, which means that if a team regresses, they can quickly bring their teammate back into the game, and most importantly, they can stop the onslaught. They're still very much inside of the zone, so they can just chill there if they want to. Can go for long-range fights as well. They don't have to just super go and chase around if they don't want to. Core Mary smack dab in the middle of the circle, as well as Buram United United Esports, slowly making their way into the zone. I would love to see Buram United Esports get a bit more active and aggressive. They are known to be a team that can explode onto certain maps. We saw that on day 1, map 1. We saw that today onto the first map as well. They were able to just take hold on their fort against 3 different teams. So for me personally, waiting for the right moment for this team to really wake up and shock us is what I am super excited for. Lost and Buram United Esports is going to meet with each other here in Waterfall. Lost will be on the north, Buram United Esports will be in the south. So, Waterfall, not much compound can be used here, a few houses here and there. However, the distance between the compounds are quite large in comparison to the other point of interest in Solara. Joanna cooking the grenade, hitting no one actually. Meanwhile, Moshi hitting a lot of bullets from members of Lost. Nice dash by Rigby, taking down Moshi. Buriram United Esports is now remained with only 3. Get High has to find time to recover. General and Rigby right in front. Around tries to come in closer to provide the third man backup for Team Lost. Rigby could not find anyone, but Wasana was found by General. Wasana running back. General knowing that they are nearby. They entered the house, could not get away from Lost. General sticking his bullet on towards Wasana, but it looks like Wasana took General down. Get High together with Rauna. Get High is on the ground, but Wasana with the revenge. 5 HP, but nah. Lost is the winner. Buriram United Esports at 9th place. And this is heartbreaking, honestly, because Buriram United Esports were the ones with the advantage. It was just one player jumping around, being a bit more slippery. It felt like Buriram United Esports sort of just got a bit more overwhelmed, perhaps overheated. wanted here, as they got a bit more greedy when it comes to those points, and they were severely punished for it as well. Now, in terms of rotations, a lot of teams coming from southern side, looking at Pain, looking at EVOS Divide. The thing could be said about Core Memory here. Whatever Core Memory right smack dab in the middle circle, that advantage is gone because it pulled toward Riders Club, and Lost probably kicking themselves for deciding to rotate away from the stronghold, and now it's in possession by Pain Gaming.
The monster truck blocked the trajectory of the grenade thrown by AGAL. What luck does AGAL have right here? But despite that, they still want to move towards Team Falcons. However, Ballas lost in that fight. He looks like Chino tries to use the monster truck. However, bullets came out instead. View goes down as well. It's going to be a very close game between AGAL and Falcon. Peter bring around the Rosie together with Saifa using the glue walls that is being made by AGAL. Saifa takes Peter, but at the same time limits. Provide that long range backup, taking down Peter. However, Saifa managed to get back to his feet. So it's only limit left here for Team Falcons. A good execution done here by AGAL. They might want to leave limit to himself. It's better off AGAL. Find all the resources nearby, all the bounty that they have made in order to find enough coins, enough resources to revive back his fallen teammates. Meanwhile, for Falcon, limit is on the bad end of the stick as Motavia found him all alone. AWFN, but nah, man, your head is just too big for me. There goes Motavia. Pain Gaming lost one member, but Limit has to fight with the zone. I'm not so sure whether or not he has enough mech to do this. He has 7, so he's fine. It's just that the mission for him to revive on fire Peter and Kiroro is superbly hard.
Not going to be the easiest as well, but Falcons have done a phenomenal job so far already. They've already survived this long, and most importantly, 8 eliminations, but he's slowly but surely making sure that he's going to be able to steal away some extra points if he were to go down here. But that point stolen away here by Rasha, denying him the one extra point, and Limit must be so frustrated right now. I know I would be, as Limit makes his way into the circle. Not even a close by area for him to go for a revive as well. Not the easiest situation with Vitality coming in front, and Vitality is on fire. This is rough, and he does eventually get eliminated to that zone.
Yeah, there you go. Falcons, 7th place. I would like to say that the zone to me looks so nice. It ends inside Riders Club at the main building. So now we're looking at Rasha got caught by Kuga with his wood backup, but yep, Core Memory took down Saifa so easy, so clean. So AGAL 6th place. EVOS Coachil managed to actually get back Rasha up to his feet, but Core Memory is hunting. Okay, we're back. All right, good. Cougar tries to go for the push. Skylar nicely put by Zad. Exposing Coachil. Goes down. Coachil now it's only Rasha all alone. Will the Wonder Kid go for the clutch? Nah, man. There you go. Core Memory takes down EVOS Divine. But at the same time, Vitality is disturbing the pathing that is trying to be took by Core Memory. Fly goes Dawn. ZS1 is still waiting outside of the zone together with Kuga. Zed is safe. Kuga, will he be the same? Yup, safe as well. Vitality missed the opportunity to get Core Memory, but at the same time lost. Nice grenade with the Alvaro cluster, but sadly could not hit all 3 members of Core Memory's KOG.
Pain Gaming is just so scattered right now from around different areas. My question is whether or not they're going to be able to just rally and play off each other here because they're just so far away. And I think Noda X also sort of shares that sentiment, so he's just rotating a little bit more closer with his teammates here. So, positions all noted, so everyone out in the open. If anything, right now, my question is how exactly Lost is going to try and make their way into the circle. They do have a bit of space to work with for Pain, juking that way a little bit more closer as well, excuse me, as Vitality a little bit more aggressive when it comes to hold. They have a lot of space to work that southern side, a lot of control of that area as well. But Cougar and his teammate have been fairly quiet, so they could become a team that can just try and catch people off guard here in that corner.
This might be a Vitality game. Look at their position right here. They are on the rooftop of the main building of Riders Club. That is basically exclusive real estate. Such nice positioning by the Indonesian team. However, we have to see the cruiser right here. The 4 remaining teams heard the last sirens here. It looks like the circle will pull towards the top right-hand side of Riders Club. Vitality has to make a move. Lost could potentially catch the Indonesian team flying down, but not before that nice grenade by Koja. Double kill for him. And there you go, Vitality eliminating Pain Gaming of 4th place. We are now left with 3.
I love the positioning Vitality here. High ground in the control. Got a space as well. And because of that, they can just make it rain and pain from above here. Steals away another 2 members of Core Memory, making it so hard for them. The final man left standing here, looking to try and just survive. Maybe, but they're gonna rush. They're gonna try and chase here. Don alone in the corner. They have an idea where he could be. That glue wall is a perfect indicator of where he could be. And I think they're just gonna try and aggress. They jump forward here, Don falls, and they cannot do more than that. A 4v4 here between Lost and Vitality, and it sounds so scary. Rigby eats a lot of damage, but Vitality, they love the Barbar gaming here from Indonesia. They got one knockdown already. The nades, everything in the kitchen is known as well. And Faiz from the top side, make it rain, make it hurt. Nando cannot hold on here. Tries to get at least a trade, cannot do more than that. Rahon as well, and Vitality still survive as a 4 till the end, and that's a booyah to close the day for this team.
My eyes never lies. Vitality had very tremendous, amazing, magnificent position right at Riders Club. They had a monster truck gracefully dropped before them, providing them a safe route to go towards the lower end of the ground. And they caught everyone at the end of that zone. They played amazingly towards Pain Gaming. They caught off members of Core Memory, and they control Lost up to point that Lost is even in a loss, pun intended, because they could not find Faiz that is on top. Kudos to Vitality. What an amazing last game here for Point Rush stage.
Honestly, super exciting matches, but Vitality, oh my gosh, I'm just so in awe at how exactly they position themselves in terms of advantage, in terms of playing off each other, and in terms of getting that information to use against other teams as well. They were so methodical, and they took both these teams by themselves one by one. Decision-making, peak. Aggression, peak. Firepower, also peak. We were wondering what the heck happened to this team. This team was on last place as we got into the 6th map with 29 points only. And for them to rally, this is insane mental if you ask me, because it's not over till it's over. It's just Point Rush, and there's still a big situation, a big advantage for them to be able to take over, take care of, excuse me, as Vitality ends this game, I believe, with 33 insane points.
That is very good points here about Vitality. Definitely will not be in last place right after this. I could imagine the roaring fans of Vitality inside the Qiddiya Arena. They had a very good fan base coming here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So with that moral support from the fans, Vitality finally could at least prove themselves worthy in this Point Rush stage. And another honorable mention I would like to say towards Team Lost and Core Memory. Their parting was good despite being mowed down by Vitality. They survived up until top 4, and that alone is enough for them to secure points. And for R7, despite how we've been praising them today, playing so well in Point Rush stage, sadly in the last one they were in 12th place, eliminated quite early in the match by Buriram United Esports.
Honestly, in all, whatever it is, I'm not sure if Gideon is watching, but Gideon, you had a good eye here. Core Memory still very much a stable team, like you've mentioned. Very, I would say, active, very, I would say aggressive as well. They knew how to survive. And you know what's even more exciting? The fact that the panel chose a majority of them actually voted for R7. And R7 was one of the earliest teams to get knocked out. Is this a panel curse? Honestly, at this point, I don't know what to say. I'm not saying.
You might have that point there, Tas. However, it looks like we are ready for an interview at the Qiddiya Arena. So, Carol, what would you like to say about that last game?
Wow, Point Rush stage was definitely breathtaking. And talking about Point Rush stage, we have like to point it out how good Movistar R7 was today. And of course, we have to talk with this man here, Gamers King. Congratulations on your performance today. You did amazing. And right now, the whole world is watching you. So I have two questions for you, and of course, it's all about your performance today. You have definitely a standout performance. And what do you think that made the biggest difference for you to game in your game playing style today during the Point Rush stage?
Hoy has tenido un performance excelente y quieren saber cómo te has sentido hoy y qué crees lo que te ha dado lo que necesitabas para tener un performance tan bueno hoy día.
Bueno, la verdad necesitaba tiempo creo que me costó adaptarme al dispositivo. Y bueno, la práctica también, el entrenamiento. Muy contento con mis compañeros.
All I needed was time. I needed time to adjust. I already got accustomed to the device we were given, and I think that's all we needed. I'm really happy with my performance today.
All right. I see that. Congratulations on that. And also for us to finish your interview, I would like to know, I'm dying to know, what can we expect for Movistar R7? Because today you guys did such a great game. I'm more excited to watch tomorrow because tomorrow it's just one day for the grand finals. What are the expectations for tomorrow?
¿Cuáles son sus expectativas para el día de mañana? Han tenido un gran performance hoy día.
Nada, o sea, estamos súper confiados, contentos y bueno, a darlo todo mañana. Todo al 100%.
We are very confident that we're going to bring everything tomorrow. We're giving our 100% tomorrow.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Thank you so much for that. I want you guys to bring it all for tomorrow. Thank you for staying with us the whole day today. Point Rush was intense, was amazing, and we have watched great matches here. But tomorrow is the grand final. Tomorrow we're going to watch who will compete to concrete. And that's all for today, my friends. I wait for you tomorrow and stay hyped, all right? Back to you, the studio.
The stage has been set for champions Rush and our teams. They've got one more night to formulate their plans and to figure out how they're going to claim their champion title. But what a day, ladies and gentlemen. We saw a very interesting style sort of develop over the course of Point Rush. Very slow for some teams, very methodical. For others, they're still kind of adjusting. Now, unfortunately, the adjustment period is not over because we still have more games tomorrow, but it's with the new format. And the question is, how are some of our teams going to deal with the new format? Because not everyone is very familiar with it, right, Neptune?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of the time, I guess it's Southeast Asia that has been in their preseason, Southeast Asia Spring. They've done that and studied how it would work. Thus, despite of not getting into Point Rush and Grand Finals, Onyx Olympus did get a championship. But there's also potential that because of that factor, the confusion as well as the surprise that has been introduced, other teams might also want to do the same. Like what we're seeing from Movistar R7. Like, just break all the boundaries from the beginning of the day and then you reach that champion rush condition real quick.
You're trying to get to the champion rush condition as soon as possible, right? But at the same time, I think that when you're looking at these teams continue to play, for some of you at home, you might expect, hey, if R7's capable of doing it, what if they eventually have a bad game and a team like Vitality right at the very end suddenly gets a booyah to steal it away? So it gives a lot of storytelling options, but at the same time, a lot of hope for the teams, especially those who are at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, since we're only looking at one day, similar to what we've seen earlier, if a massive game from Vitality and they were just pushed up to the number 4 spot from the bottom as quickly as that. It's just one game. And that's one thing that might happen in the grand finals, and also potential that it can end 4th game, because again, we have some teams who are getting 10 massive points even before grand final starts.
But then we also have to consider we could also go to 10 games. So do they have the stamina to keep it going?
I think there's no issue about stamina here, right? Because even before our professional teams, as the overall stands are being shown, they have already played a good amount of scrims. 4 in their hotel, 2 on the stage itself before we even go live onto the show. But hey, am I allowed to be smug here for a little bit? Can we please talk about the fact that core memory, number 1, core memory.
All right, I got you. I guess Raja and we apologize for ganging up on you.
Yeah, I apologize. But I mean, Core Memory will bring 10 points to the finals. And it's good to remember about the AWC last year that Team Falcons just did. In the first match, I think it was close to 28 eliminations in the first match. So imagine doing 28 eliminations with more 10 points. So it's a bunch of points. So you need to know how to deal with that. And teams need to be kind of, worried about it because we don't know what to expect for Core Memory in this finals. But they also had, they also have like 10 points, which is kind of you just need to do more 70, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy for us to say just do 70 points, right? We're the analysts. We're not the ones playing the game. But would it be much of an outlandish call to say after today's matches, things are just speeded up 10 times, those 28 eliminations last year? I don't think that's an impossible feat, especially for game one after having such a slow start and I guess to a certain degree a slow finish for the play day today as well. But let's talk about some of the teams that we are going to be expecting to do well tomorrow. And this is going to include teams that maybe didn't do too well today because maybe they're using today to kind of get a feel of maybe where they want to drop for tomorrow, or maybe get a feel of how they actually did in a hot drop against another team. I want to hear a team from each of you. Who do you think is a top dog to look out for tomorrow?
I guess it's hard to answer that question because I think it's really open to all of them to try to get the trophy. But I don't know. I kind of feel that Indonesian teams, they usually like to play that type of format. So I don't want to believe in that, but I mean, I think Evos probably will start like doing really, really good. I don't know. I think they kind
revenge.
Yeah. Well, so my pick for that question will be Evos.
Should it only be one?
If you want to put another one, be my guest.
In terms of how the format is, again, Booyah is important. Booyah probability, Falcons, and loss.
I love this man when he starts speaking numbers. Go on, Romeo. Speak.
Definitely. I mean, Team Falcons, they have placement potential. Like, most of the time, they are leading in placement despite of not getting any elimination. But for loss, they have a lot of elimination. But if you count the number of instances that they are in top 3, they still have a chance to get more points once they get that Booyah. So both of them are tied. And after this game, though, I would like to include Core Memory as well from... because after the 9 instances of being top 3, they're catching up.
I have a bit of a hot take. I'm going to say after today, what is the most important thing in Champions Rush is how you close out the game, how you get that final Booyah. It doesn't matter if you make it into top 3 consistently if you can't close out the game. And I think R7 has shown and proven that they can close out games more confidently in top 3 scenarios than a majority of these teams. A close second, I would say, is lost. But even today, we're seeing that people have really adjusted towards them.
All right, looks like we're ready for our Career Top Plays. So let's have a look at our top plays for our Point Rush stage today. Unfortunately, our matches are over, but don't worry, all these games live rent-free in our minds because we had some fantastic games, very unconventional competitive games of Free Fire. So to any audience members, to any viewers, if you missed any of the matches today, go back home and re-watch the VODs. All of the games are well worth watching because this is just a taste, a sampler of what is going to be happening in Champions Rush tomorrow, because yes, we are it's a soft reset. Teams are still going to be coming in with some points, but at the end of the day, points are points. Man, all it takes is 1 point being ahead of the competition to crown you as champion.
I just want to point to the audience's attention that what you are seeing here in Kadir's top play so far, a lot of them are just little tips and tricks, tidbits from some of the best players in the world. We saw a lot of baits happening off angles from snipers while your three members are trying to pull attention to their side to get an incredible angle. Not to mention even fake outs as well. And I think this was very evident with R7 versus EVOS during Nextera, if I remember correctly, faking sounds to bait them out into the open area.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. I mean, the classic 3-1 split, as well as the 2-2 fake out, the 2-2 switcheroo, as we often call it. And again, those are the tactics that we will see even more. And because of the teams, they will not be resting. Despite of it being the end, they won't be resting. They still have plenty of time to study their opponents, make those adjustments, and we'd love to see those improvements for tomorrow.
All right, folks, it looks like it is time to announce our Sony MVP of the day. Before we show it to you, though, we're going to give you a couple seconds to think. Can you guess who our MVP is? We'll reveal in 3, 2, 1. Our Sony MVP of the day is none other than Rasia from EVOS. And Gideon, this man, he's not surprised. He knows his stuff.
The kid does it again, man.
He's not a kid, he's a man.
He is qualified. There's a reason why EVOS is, again, not only scouting, but also is trying to mold these players at a very young age to eventually be incorporated into the team as a main roster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is comfortable at this point, despite of being introduced to the international scene because of age, but he has 7 million followers. So that means that 7 million or a lot more has been watching him play, seeing how his game style, and he has been carrying the team overall. And hopefully it would be a team, more of a team effort, all balanced across the board. But well, it is what it is right now, and they have a chance to make the adjustment for tomorrow.
That's one of the reasons that I believe they can do such a great job. So he's really good. We are all seeing, and you know, I think maybe the finals can be really good for him too.
Well, we're going to have to see if Rasia is going to be able to carry his team on his shoulders, because unfortunately, it's not over, folks. Actually, what do I mean, unfortunately? Fortunately for us, because we get to see some more Free Fire, but tomorrow, it's a special day. It is Champions Rush here for Free Fire at EWC 25. A big thank you to my wonderful panel for sharing their knowledge of Free Fire with us. I hope you're ready for tomorrow. Sleep well, rest up, and the same thing to all of my beautiful viewers as well. I hope you guys rest up. Eat, bring your friends, call them up, have a party at your house, and make sure you watch all the Free Fire action here at EWC 25. But that's going to be it for us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all bright and early tomorrow for Champions Rush. See you, survivors!
I'ma get